wonderful things from this event. We also ask that you open our ears so that we may retain valuable knowledge. Open our minds to think wisely. Fill us with understanding, cooperation, and peace in fulfilling our responsibilities. Open our hearts so that we may receive your everlasting love. Open our spirit so that we may know that you are with us all throughout the day. We ask these in the name of Jesus Christ. Amen. A pleasant morning to everyone. I am Monica Marisa Dia from the Capacity Development Division, and I will be your host for the 2024 Procurement Forum, Strategic Procurement Excellence, Achieving Better Outcomes Through Early Procurement Planning, with our official hashtag Procurement Excellence 2024, brought to you, of course, by none other than the Government Procurement Policy Board Technical Support Office. At this juncture, to officially welcome all of us joining us today, the Executive Director of the Government Procurement Policy Board Technical Support Office. Please welcome, ladies and gentlemen, Attorney Rowena Candice Ruiz.
Thank you, Monique. Good morning, everyone. I'm really very happy and glad and enjoyed and really excited to welcome you all to our Procurement Forum for the year 2024. Not only because this would be, I think, the sixth year since we've established the Procurement Forum in 2019, because also, as you've noticed, we are in our new home. This is the GPPPTSO building at kayo po ang unang training na gagawin namin for this building. So, congratulations to you. Thank you so much. As I mentioned earlier, we first introduced this forum in 2019 precisely to be able to really focus on procurement planning. And as procurement practitioners, I'm sure you know why. In a 2012 study, procurement planning has been the cause, or lack of procurement planning has been the major cause for failure in public bidding, in public procurement. So we should really be able to recalibrate our trainings, our professionalization program towards the more important aspect of procurement. Okay? We should really be looking into how we can improve procurement planning. And it's not just about that preparation of APP or the preparation of PPMP. It's really more focusing on a strategic procurement planning plan for our agency. That is why, if you notice, we have really planned the program for this half-day session so that you'll be able to look at what other strategic interventions that you can actually implement or apply in your own offices. And of course, we also want to take advantage of this opportunity to learn from you as well. So please, I do encourage everybody to ask questions, to clarify, because we have very wonderful, esteemed colleagues of ours in the procurement profession that will be facilitating the discussion. They won't just be lecturing today. They will be facilitating a discussion with you. And because you're procurement professionals, it's very important for you to be engaged. Especially because I want to share that among our proposals in the amendment of RA 9184 is to institutionalize professionalization. What does it mean? We have proposed the creation of procurement positions. Okay? So, gone are the days na ad hoc lang or add-on ang procurement. Because if we keep on telling you procurement is important, the first thing we should be doing is to actually mandate the creation of positions. And these are not just admin positions. These should be technical positions. No? Because we know, right now, if you happen to be among the 23% na mayroong procurement offices, ang positions are admin. So it has to be technical. There also has to be a supervisory and managerial level positions for procurement. We're also pushing for the licensing of procurement professionals so that you will also be carrying a proud carrier of a procurement professional card. And of course, very important, we will be establishing a code of ethics. Because when it comes to public procurement, there's a lot of gray areas. Maraming pwede naman sa batas, pag alam mo hindi mo dapat gawin. So that's what we are trying to cover in the Code of Ethics. So there's so much to learn for this half-day session, and this will not be the end of it. I'm sure there will be more trainings to be offered by GBPBTSO and its many other partners. But for today, please do listen in, join in the discussion, and ask questions. Thank you so much for joining us this morning, and have a great day ahead. Thank you.
Thank you, Dee, once again. That was our very own Executive Director, Attorney Rowena Candes Ruby. So at this point po, let us take our group photo po muna. I would also like to acknowledge as well the presence of our Deputy Executive Directors, Deputy Executive Director Maria Denisha Rivera Guillermo, and Deputy Executive Director Maria Josine Claire Beltran Caranzan. Thank you, ladies, for joining us today. So again po, papaano po ba tayo mag-group photo? Tatayo po. Tatayo po tayo lahat. Yes. Alright. So, again po, let's all stand. Tapos, may we request our Executive Director and Deputy Executive Directors to please join us here on.
Office mo, alam mo yung Facebook mo? Sige po, Facebook. Kaya lang po kasi hindi ko kami sa Facebook, pero open na yung Facebook dito. Saan ko Facebook?
Our program will
Sige,
be
ganito
for
pa
a
lang
little
sa
bit kasi unahin na natin yung opening message ng aming executive director.
Ayan. Sige po, yung mga nasa dulo po. Sige po, let's occupy yung middle po muna para makita po tayong lahat.
Facebook, hindi ko pagisado kasi Facebook eh.
Alright. So, hindi natin na-capture ang opening.
Alam mo Facebook mo? Alam mo Facebook?
Okay, no, so let's just continue with our education, guys. No, so, at this juncture, I would like to invite everyone to please stand for the opening prayer in the speech of the Philippine National Anthem.
Noon pa man, malaki na ang naging bahagi ng mga
Yes.
kababaihan sa lipunan.
Annual Procurement Forum is especially or exclusive for national government agencies. So finally po, nagkita-kita po tayo today. So in 2021, 3 taon po tayo yung mga maliliit na mukha lang natin ang nakikita sa Zoom screens natin. No? But today, we are here. No, sabi nga po ni, as Edie mentioned, this year is extra special because we are also celebrating the opening of our GPPBTSO building. No? So we are really excited po to invite all of you really kick off this historic and momentous event. So, para po sa mga hindi po makaka-join sa atin today physically, today until Friday, we are also simultaneously being broadcasted live through our official Facebook page. Kaya magandang umaga rin po sa mga Facebook viewers. So, as we proceed po, no, within PSO po, no, we believe that procurement excellence is intentional. And so we really do believe that it has to really start with procurement planning. So, for this year's theme po, no, we would like to really accentuate how essential procurement planning in achieving procurement excellence, emphasizing really in the advantages that arise from initiating procurement activities early on in the process. And so this year po, every session shall only be an hour-long discussion crafted to focus on the main points and central issues of procurement planning. So for this morning, we will be having 3 technical sessions. First, we will be having procurement updates, followed by market scoping, and then finally, procurement planning. Now, before we go ahead and meet our source speakers, let me just discuss quickly our house rules. Yeah. First questions shall only be entertained at the end of each session. Again, only related answers po shall be accommodated by our resource leaders. Next, register and evaluate through our ProHub. Now, this is very important. Why? Because next slide, please. Your certificates shall be sent via the ProHub. So, system generated po ito. Once you evaluated and accomplished the evaluation through our ProHub, your respective certificate shall be generated by the system and shall be provided to you through your respective emails. Okay, so please do not forget to evaluate after the official end of our event. Ayan. And so I think we are all ready to meet our first speaker. So let us now move on to our first technical session. Our source speaker is a GPPB recognized trainer. Let us all welcome Ms. Bean Sikam.
Thank you, Miss Monica. Good morning, everybody. Okay, so you're all from the national. I think some of the participants on the ground for have gone up because they're already full there. You're all national here. Hello, Mr. Andy. Sabi ko kanina, speaker ba si Mr. Andy? Kasi kasama po namin yung hindi, participant daw siya ngayon. I came all the way from Tarlac, up blunder. Nalimutan ko yung eyeglasses ko. Buti na lang, farsighted ako so I can read from the computer without my reading glasses. Nakalimutan ko ilagay sa bag. Hindi ko na mabalikan kasi from Tarlac City pa ako. Okay, so pwedeng, yun na yung gagamitin ko kasi ganda ng building. Nag-waste kami kasi hindi ko alam yung exact location of the building. Ang nakalagay pa sa waste is Rapols. Ortigas, kamunta na kayo makarating. Kaya sabi yung waste, sumampa kami sa flyover ng Quezon Ave. Naku, mali. So, kung tinignan ko, daw lang ako sa lamin, ano pala siya, yung paling old building, hindi ko pala nire-register pala yung mga sa way. So, hindi pa siya naka-register. Okay. So, I have to call Miss Kyla to ask for the exact location of the building. Ang dali pa lang hanapin. Kasi, kasi UP Diliman. So, I asked her if I'm going to get inside the UP campus in Dilao. So, it's along Commonwealth. No? But I think kasi may nakalagay na UP doon sa so it is among the kasama siya ng campus, Miss Kayla? Okay. So, yan is the Government Forum and supposed to be Marcus Coping, kaya lang mauna na ako dahil mas nauna ang galing ng probinsya kaysa galing ng Metro Manila. Ang galing ka ng Las Piñas, Parañaque, somewhere there, talagang mahirap mag-cross dito sa Quezon City. Mas mabilis ako dahil NLEX, no? TechFlex, NLEX, SFX, ang dinaanan ko, tatlong expressways. Mas mabilis. Okay, so let's start now. We are going to have our updates on procurement. The outline of the session will be first we're going to talk about renewal of regular and recurring services. And then second, the online submission system relative to the early procurement activities. And the third will be adopting sustainable and gender-responsive practices in government. Yeah. And then may a little of the green public procurement. So let's go to the renewal of regular and recurring services. Kasi ito problem lagi, meron laging concern in our PEs. I'm already a retiree. Okay, I retired from the commission audit as regional director. My last assignment was in COA Region 3. Yan. So, but the GPPP are still tapping the retired government personnel, and we're so thankful for that. At least hindi kami idle, no? So, yan. Sabi nga ni Idiwin kanina, mas mabilis daw, mas easier to tap, to invite the retirees because we don't have anybody, we don't need any authority from we don't have any boss anymore. So when we say yes, yes yun. Unless siguro meron talagang nangyari. Unlike the active, Attorney Lex is your speaker. He's still active, bata pa siya, he's still active in government service, and they have to ask authority, and sometimes they will be allowed, but then there will be important activities or work to do, then they would have to, of course, the priority is to work in their present positions. Yan. So yung tireless kasi, kami lang yung boss ng sarili namin. If we say accept it, then okay na yun. Yan. Okay? So, what are regular and recurring services? These are the services that are essential, indispensable, or necessary to the day-to-day operations of the PE. Yung, siyempre, needed, no? In the pursuit of the mandate, in the pursuit of the goals and objectives of the government agencies. Now, and then, ang applicability niya ay services defined under DBM National Budget Circular number 570 series of 2017. Ano ba itong mga to? What are these? Janitorial services, security services, telecommunication services, the supply of drinking water. I remember before, when there was no regulation or rule regarding this one, yung department head is the one from the RATA, from the representation, siya yung bumibili ng drinking water of the department. Did you have that experience before? Yes. So it's very good now that included sa procurement is the supply because we drink, di ba? So ang nangyayari before is either kanya-kanyang baon yung ating mga kasama sa office or the department head would shell out the amount for the procurement, for the buying of the water. Okay? Then, kasama yung office space rental. And then, we say that it's regular recurring services when it's procured in the last 3 years. Kaya recurring mo siya. Dahil it procured siya within the 3 last years. And there are certain conditions, okay, before we can use the guidelines on recurring and regular recurring services. First, the original contract awarded should be, by the way, the discussions of this regular recurring services are contained in GPPP Resolution 06-2022. So I also copied, and we can go on para kung makita nyo yung resolution of the GPPP. It's 06-2022. Okay? So first, the original contract should be awarded in accordance with RA 9184. Hindi siya sinabing competitive bidding. Ang sabi lang, in accordance, so it would mean na some of them were procured using the alternative methods of procurement. Yan. So hindi ka mukha ng ibang conditions na kailangan sa repeat order, the first procurement should be competitive public bidding. But here, sa regular recurring, the original contract awarded lang in accordance with the provisions of the RA 9124 and its IR. Ibig sabihin, pwedeng alternative mode of procurement. Yung first na, yung original contract. Okay? And then, there should be a cost-benefit analysis to show comparative advantage. So, paano ba yan? Usually, when I was still in COA, when the security services are multi-year, na 3 years. But, there's yearly ang contract, but the budget, syempre, yung multi-year is 3 years. But then, every year, we have created a team or a task force that would evaluate the services of the security services that we have contracted with. And if it's not satisfactory, then we have to not anymore renew the contract, to sign the contract for the following year, but we have to bid it out again. So dito sa cost benefit, kasama yung evaluation. And of course, so ano ba ang pros and cons ng security services na in-offer, no? And then, that would show comparative advantage ba to the advantage ba of the beneficial ba yung services, advantage ba, or okay ba to the government. And then, yun, satisfactory performance dapat. If it's below satisfactory, dapat nga excellent eh. No? So if it's below satisfactory, then we have to not option of the PE not to renew the services. And then, of course, they have to submit the updated eligibility documents so that and performance security because it will be renewed, the contract will be renewed, no? So they have to submit the updated eligibility, and we know that the requirements of the legalities are the mayor's permit and everything is yearly. Hindi naman yun hindi naman for 3 years, hindi pwede kahit multi-year yan. You have to have the contracting to offer or to submit the updated eligibility documents. Okay? Then, the conditions shall be included in the APP. Of course, we have procured, no? That's why in COA, ako if I lecture on government, on procurement planning, I always say, sa PR, in the PR, dapat there is a stamp there within the APP. And then meron siyang signature or initial. Para to be sure that it's in the APP, and then the COA, the auditor will check it against the registry or the APP itself. Okay. Then, service provider must be of course, not blacklisted. And you can go to the portal of the GPPB regarding there's a list, no, of those suppliers, contractors, and consultants that are blacklisted. Okay, then, kasi kung hindi na blacklisted, mag-i-issue ang PE ng parang releasing the canceling the blacklisting. And then funds are available, was very important. Funds are available in accordance with existing rules. And then provision for renewal of contract must be incorporated in the special conditions of the contract, the technical specification, and the request for quotation of the original contract. Ilalagay na doon yung provision ng renewal. Pag sa first pa lang na, the first contract, no, there should already be a connotation there that there would be renewal. This is for mayroong provision na it can be renewed. Okay? Then, the contract duration of course is 1 year. Alam naman natin yan. And but it shall not exceed, yung pag-renew, shall not exceed 3 years for the total combined period covering the original contract, renewals, and extension. So hanggang 3 taon lang, bid na kayo ulit. Iba, yung magpo-procure na kayo ulit. After 3 years lang yung maximum. Bali, original and then 2 renewals kasama ang extensions. Then, the price adjustment in case, no, there's a price adjustment that prescribed by laws, rules, and regulations and other issuances, may contract amendment. Kasi, ano yung mga yan? Yung mga contract assignment na yan ay, halimbawa, ang PIBAW, yung sa security, they have this established rate. Kung nag-increase, then you have to adjust yung contract. Kasi nga, ano yun, that's prescribed by laws, rules, and regulation. Pero kung request lang ng the service provider, hindi siya pwede. Kailangan siya ay price adjustment prescribed by laws, rules, and regulation and other issuances. Okay? Then, If the contract has commenced with another procurement or the renewal process but unable, halimbawa, tatapos na yung 3 taon ng yung renewal, then ongoing na yung procurement, makapag-start na. Okay. But unable to award. Lumagpas na, tapos na yung kontrata with a service provider. And then, hindi pa na-award, pero nagpa-processing na. No? Pwede po i-renew yung contract within 15 days prior the expiration of the existing contract for reasons beyond. Yan. So, pwedeng may extend ang contract. That's the contract extension. Okay? And then there are posting requirements. The notice of renewal and renewal contract must be posted and submitted to GPPB through the TSO. So it will be posted in the PILJEP's website of the procurement entity, and GPPB. Okay. So ito yung Menti. Menti is an online Swedish ito na way of presentation of the presentation materials and then questions and answer para siyang yung on date, parang yung actual time. Okay. So mamaya meron tayong nalagay dun eh. Sige, okay.
Alright, so at this point po, let's pause muna yung lecture ni ma'am. And let's proceed po to our first knowledge check. I'm sure you are all familiar po with our knowledge check. Before, yan po ay nasa Zoom natin na pipili po kayo sa mga options. But now, we are going to utilize our Menti. Menti.com. Ayan, so let's ready your QR scanners and please scan the QR code flashed in front of you. Ayan. So for our first question, ayan, may mga nagla-like thumbs up na po. Ayan. The case, Agency Y, a prominent government financing institute, is confronted with significant procurement challenges in securing essential security and janitorial services. With the impending expiration of contracts with existing service provider in less than 2 months, there's an urgent need to address these issues to ensure uninterrupted operations crucial for service delivery. Question. Use this paragraph to explain something in detail. Leverage agile frameworks to provide a robust synopsis for high-level overviews. Iterative approaches. Ayan. Ayan, nakasagot na sila. Question 1 of 1. 50 players are ready. Sige. Sabi, all correct answers give maximum points. This is the question. Can Agency Y renew its contract with existing service provider? The options are yes, for a duration not exceeding 1 year for each renewal. Yes, provided that cost-benefit analysis was undertaken by the end user. Yes, provided that the performance evaluation is conducted by the end user, or all of the above. Ayan. We already have 19 participants who answered our first option. 20 for the last option, all of the above. Meron po tayo sa ating second and third option. Ayan, ma'am. The question is, can Agency Y renew its contract with existing service provider?
Sumagot mo ba lahat yung
Opo. Yung iba daw, ma'am, they're having a hard time to connect, but meron pa naman po tayong mga susunod. So,
Okay, so this is good because in the Zoom that we're using when we answer, hindi lahat, no? But this one, it measures, no? The participants that did not answer or have not logged in, wala sila then. They're not counted. No? What's the answer when you listen? What's the answer? All of the above, of course, because like we have discussed earlier in the slides the three conditions. Okay, so ilan yung you know that ilan yung sumagot? Pantay ba?
20, ma'am. 20D and then A19.
Okay, so congratulations for those who answered D.
Ayan. Thank you all very much po. That's our first knowledge check, no? Para po dun sa mga hindi pa po naka-join sa ating first knowledge check, don't worry, mayroon pa po tayo. Marami pa po tayong dadaanan na Menti knowledge check. So, now, back to you po, ma'am.
Okay, thank you, Miss Monica and Miss Kyla. Okay, let's continue. So now we're going to take up the online submission for certifications relative to EPA, Early Procurement Activities. Okay? So ang background nito, the GPPB, this is section 22. The GPPB is the authorized body to amend, no? To promulgate the provisions of the IRR, amend, and so they are the ones who would amend the solutions and issue circulars regarding the solution. Yeah, it's mandated to issue, and they are mandated to issue the proper implementation by the PEs of the Act, no, the GPRA, is IAR, and all other relevant rules and regulations pertaining to public procurement. So GPPB, that's 63.1D and 63.3E of the 2016 revised IRR. Yan yung legal basis. Okay. Section 7 of the law encourages procuring entities to undertake procurement activities short of award, pending approval of the GAA for national agencies, corporate budgets for GOCs, GFIs, and then appropriation ordinances for LGUs. Then starting from 2016, the GAA authorized PEs to undertake EPA from pre-procurement until post-qualification of bids as soon as the proposed national budget is submitted to Congress. And you have learned that you attended procurement planning, and it's extensively discussed in procurement planning. The EPA is included there in procurement planning, the guidelines on how to do an EPA. Yeah. Then we all know that there's a requirement for you to be qualified, your agency to be qualified for the PBB. Okay, so the Interagency Task Force, or the AITF, on the harmonization of national government performance monitoring, information and reporting system, that is memorandum number 2022-1, provides the guidelines for the incentive to PEs that conduct EPA equivalent to at least 50% of the total value of its eligible procurement projects. Nakikita po sa APCPI yung mga EPA ninyo kasi it's there, reported even in your procurement monitoring report, the PMRs. Okay. Then, there's a non-policy memorandum, may query 01, that's 2022, dated February 17, 2022, providing further guidelines for the submission of a certificate of this early procurement activities through electronic email for the purpose of compliance to the performance-based bonus requirement, PBB requirement. Yan. Chika ko sa inyo, galing akong COA, pero syempre, kahit na-retired na ako, nakakonect pa rin ako, hindi ko nag-qualify ang Commission on Audit as an institution for the 2022 PBB. Wala po silang PBB. Anong problema nila? Procurement po. In the prior years when I was in the COA, kasi syempre pag RD ka, you are the hope. Kasi sa COA, the hope is the chair of the COA. Kasi we have three in the commission proper, the chair and the two commissioners. Now, siyempre, hindi naman kaya ng chair na lahat siyang hope ng all of the regional offices. So, it's being delegated. There's an office order delegating the hope function to the regional directors. And each regional director is considered an implementing unit. That's why all the requirements, because we do also our own procurement in the regional offices. So all the reportorial, the submittals to the GPPB through the TSO is done by the regional offices. Pag may isang regional office na hindi nakapag-comply, damay lahat. Diba? That's why I was telling them noon, ang monitoring dapat ng central office o the regional office regarding procurement, meron talaga dapat nag-oversee. To see to it. Although nagre-report kami pagka nag-post kami, nagre-reporting kami, nakikita rin sa portal ng aming anak na amin ay parang kuha pa din ako. Nakikita yung meron silang yung sa IT nila, nakikita naman yung kung online submission na sa GTPB, pero hindi pa rin nag-qualify ng 20. Pinatawag kami noon, just katakot-takot kayo na-enjoy nyo na yung inyong PBB, ang COA nag-justify pa, kaya late lagi kami ng may isang taon, isang 2 taon kaming late bago mo namin matanggap yung PBB at that time. Okay, yan. So, kailangan yon hanggang ngayon. Yan. So, there's an advisory number 01-2023 dated May 5, 2023, advising all the procurement entities shall submit their certification to monitoring@gppp.gov.ps instead of the old mail, early procurement at gppp.gov.ph. So may bago pong meron pong bagong email, meron pong bagong pag-i-email na monitoring@gppp.gov.ph regarding this compliance with this EPA. Okay? So, the AITF on the harmonization of the National Government Performance Monitoring Information and Reporting System provides the guidelines for the incentive to PEs, the conduct of fees equivalent to at least 50% of the value of the eligible. Yung total ninyo yung procurement projects na during the year. So, 50% na pa. Yan. Okay? Then, the GPPBTSO conducts regular monitoring of the implementation of procurement rules by the PEs through submission of your procurement reports, which includes the certification related to the conduct of EPA. Submissions received through email and considered be compliant will be included in a positive list for endorsement to the AO25 for purposes of PBB. So it's GTPB to the TSO now is going to submit a positive list through your report kung compliant kayo with the EPA requirement. Yan. Under FY 2022 PBB, there were a total of 1,434 submissions of Certificate of EPA for fiscal year 2023 received by the GPPB TSO through its yung dati nilang email, early procurement at gppb.gov.ph. Pero bago na yung email ad. Okay. So, for the year 2023, proposed budget, the GPPB-TSO was able to generate its EPA positive list last June 1, 2023, or exactly 5 months from the start of the year. A second level of review commenced on June 1, 2023, and by September 15, 2023, the final EPA positive list was endorsed to AO25 Secretariat for the 2023 EPA, PBB. Yan. So there were a total of 1,434 submissions na certificate of EPA na received by the GPPBTSO. Okay, so The online system of GPPBTSO automatically, wala akong salamin, maliit na to. Automatically detects the actual date and when the submission was made by the PE. Yan ko nabasahin na, maliit na eh. I forgot my glasses eh. So, and ang liit pa naman, ito pa naman, tingnan mo, oh. Gawin nyo puti ito. Upload certification online and have the PS themselves enter the information on the respective certification. Actually, when we were tapped as RP, medyo, alam mo, love ko ang GTP, BTSO eh, lalo ang training. Kahit na replacement lang ako, okay sa akin. Actually, replacement ako dahil nung isang linggo lang ako sinabihan eh. But it's okay, I love GT, BTSO talaga. Kasi parang 2004, I've been already a trainer. And parang kung ang kalahati ng dugo ko kuha, kalahati GTP, BTSO, capacity training department na siya. Okay. I'm supposed to, nung kausap ko ni Ms. Kayla, she called me up. I have an engagement kasi I'm going, so hindi ako naka-attend ng orientation kasi meron akong tamang-tama may sumiling ako that whole day din. So ngayon, pinapa-review sa amin yung details sa amin dito, they are preparing thank you so much for that. Kasi nung nag-start kami, let me share, we do our own slides. Kaya iba-ibang slides namin. That's why when the participants po, sabi niya, bakit sa amin hindi na take up yan? Kasi depende sa sipag ng at yung ibang speaker napakahaba kasi ang dami lahat na nilagay sa slides. Hindi lang bullet-bullet, ganyan. So, I'm so thankful through the years, it's GPTV now, CDDU are sending us the slides. At uniform talaga yan for all of the trainings. Very good, di ba? Okay. Yan. Hindi ko nakita ko yan kagabi nung nireview ko ulit. Kasi tinignan ko lang eh. Sabi ko, wala namang correction. So I told Ms. Kyla, okay na yung slides. Wala na akong papalitan. Kasi we can recommend. Pero hindi namin pwedeng i-plus na hindi namin sinabi sa kanila. We have to inform them first. Kung meron kaming corrections or additions to the slides. Okay. Hindi pwedeng bumulaga dyan ng hindi nila alam. That's the protocol. Okay? So, sabi ko, hindi mabasa kahit kayo, nababasa ba nyo? Okay, hindi. Tapos ito pa, meron pa itong blue. Generates the real-time analytics through systems. Real-time transparency dashboard. Dashboard to eh. May dashboard. So, real-time. Kasi, it allows the PE to review all their information and correctness of the course before clicking the submit button. So, very careful dapat. I know the submissions are being done by the back secretariat, di ba? On your end, ng mga PE. So, dapat careful. Ngayon, siguro with this new online system, taga-GPTV, hindi na magreklamo kasi every training, ang reklamo ng mga complaint, the concern of the PEs is that they do not receive the acknowledgement of the submission nila online. So they have to call down, to call. So maybe now, because tingnan mo naman yung building nila, ang ganda nung pumasok ako. Ginagawa pa kasi wala pa yung parking, pero how beautiful the building, di ba? Very, very good. Ang ganda. And then may training rooms pala yung fifth. So all trainings, and nagsabi na si Edie na for a minimum, the agencies can now, you can have your training here, pero you take care of your food and the honoraria of the speaker ninyo. Pag purely, pero hindi pwedeng i-rent pag hindi procurement. Purely procurement lang. Okay? Yan. Yung sinasabi na kanina na magiging professionalized by license na. Pag kaya you enroll in the basic, intermediate, and advanced na professional may exam yun eh. Kaya yung iba, ha? Okay, kasama din ako sa artist doon, ang auditing yung akin doon most often. Okay, did you already attend?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Sa intermediate yung auditing. Okay, patalastas. Okay. So, on the online system pa rin, allows PE to check the submission through the same dashboard. It's a dashboard. And then allows PE to check the status of their compliance and take actions or address deficiencies if necessary before the deadline. And then the request for reconsiderations with just a click of a button within 7 days, calendar days, after determining their status of non-compliance. Okay. Hindi ko mabasa, hindi tayo. Okay. Pagka senior ka na, talaga marami ka nakakalimutan. Naglipat kasi ako, ano naman ang mga babae, iba-iba ng bag. So, ibang bag ko kagahapon. So, nag-chase na kapay, nag-chase din ng lahat, di ba? So, hindi ko na, and then, hindi. Kinuha ko yung salamin ko dahil nag-leave pa nga ako. Nasa bed ko yung salamin ko, hindi ko nalagay sa bag ko. Okay, so, this is the EPA submission form that we're talking about. So, proposed budget, please identify the year of the proposed budget concern, choose only one. So, FY 2024 na ta, syempre. Okay, then you add the procuring entity. Identify the name of the PE concern using the drop down. So, meron na dito. In case the subject PE is not available, choose cannot be found. Hahanapin ng GPPB. Kasi drop down yan, dapat nandyan yung ano nyo, yung name ng inyong agency. O that's the EPA submission form. Yan. Mabuti pa si Atty. Dex, nakakabit ng salamin niya, hindi niya makakalimutan. Kasi reading lang po yung akin, hindi wala po siyang I don't have to wear it. Ito na yung dashboard. Okay? So, fast track or stand still, list procurement entities to charge project kick-offs with early activities. Question. So, sa kanila dyan, please choose this filter section to view EPA submissions related to a particular proposed budget year. Okay, note, the dashboard provides basic information on the conduct of EPA by PEs based on their encoding in the system. So, EPA submissions, proposed budget, yan. And then, pindutin na nyo, hindi tayo makakapindot, wala yung dashboard. Okay. So, overview. Number of EPA certificate submissions refers to the total number of PEs who have submitted EPA certifications. Then, ayun, 693 based on their kinonsolidate na nila. The number of PEs with successful, hindi ho yung CBD, yung pong particular department, kanya-kanya sila dito Yung PMR, iba yung nag-check, yung APCPL, iba yung nag-evaluate. Okay. Yan. So, number of PEs with successful EPA refers to the total number of PEs with successful EPA regardless of compliance with the requirements. 10-page signature and timely submission, 360. Wala pa evaluation yon, 360. The number of EPA of PEs with unsuccessful EPA. Yan. Refers to the total number of PEs with unsuccessful EPA regardless of compliance with other requirements. Yan. So, 44. And then, ito yung number of PEs with no EPA conducted. Di ba? 63. And the number of PEs exempted from EPA refers to the number of PEs exempted from EPA regardless of compliance. So, meron naman po mga kasi ang barangay hindi naman po nag-EPA. Okay, so exempted sila. Yan. Walang PBB yung barangay Okay, so may mga exempted din naman po na walang EPA. Okay? So alam naman yun ng barangay, hindi naman lahat kasi laki ng Forbes Park na equivalent sa isang city na o munisipyo. But the barangays in the far-flung provinces talaga ay maliliit po yung kanilang era. Okay? Yan. So, we're finished with our online system. Let's go to, mga updates ko kasi ito, no? Okay. So, let's go to adapting sustainable and gender-responsive practices in procurement. So, wow! Kasama na po ang gender responsiveness. sa ating procurement. Wow, very good. And naka-inject din po ang green public procurement. Yan. So, alam naman nyo yan, last week, I was in Maribeles. Isa sa topic ko sa isang dalawang araw ko nun eh. So, ito, 1.5 days, I also took this up, the Green Public Procurement. So GPPB is a process whereby public authorities seek to procure goods, services, and works with a reduced environmental impact throughout their life cycle. That's why ina-advocate ngayon ang life cycle analysis, the cost estimate. When you prepare the cost estimate, yung LCCA, okay? Throughout their life cycle, when compared to goods, services, and works with the same primary function that would otherwise be procured. So, pwedeng, but you have to place it in your, in the planning. So, dapat yung PPMP ninyo, when you prepare it, kaya Attorney Dex yung procurement planning, nakalagay na yung, i-mention ko lang, nakalagay na yan na you are going to procure green products. It should be placed. Kasi pag in-advertise niyo yon, pinost niyo yon, nakalagay doon na green products yung inyong gustong i-procure. So, sabi ni ED Weng, in one of her talks, no? GPP is not merely for compliance and procurement greenwashing, but it is an initiative towards sustainable production, consumption, and disposal of items that make an impact on the environment and economy. Yon. Yan, no? So, yung agencies dapat magkanya-kanya sila ng gawa ng action plan, i-support itong GPP na to. Sabi nga, who will do the initiative to go green? Is government, because sila yung malaki ang purchasing power. The procuring entities, national government agencies, corporation, local government, para sumunod ang public, sumunod ang household. Malaki din kasi yung mga, tayo mismo mga nagko-consume, no? Consumers. Yan. Why is GPP a good practice of public procurement? Kasi there's a growing understanding and operationalization of sustainable development since the Earth Summit of 1992. Grabe, yung Rio Summit, kung saan nagsimula ang tagal na, no? And then inulit pa yan ng 10 years later sa Johannesburg, Africa. Meron ulit, no? About this one. And then governments are leading by example and use their immense purchasing power to shape the patterns of growth eventually achieving green growth. So kailangan promotion talaga dito sa GPP na to. That's why natuwa si Ms. Weng kasi may GACPA convention kami na patalastas. We have our annual national convention of the GACPA, Government Association of Certified Public Accountants, at the Iloilo Convention Center in Iloilo City in May 21 to 24. And meron kaming procurement doon kasi I am the technical session head of the GACPA. Nandun pa rin ako, retired ako, I am the ED now, kasi the national president is the assistant commissioner of the local government sector, Attorney Juliano, is the president. Okay, so siya yung kaya nandun pa rin ako sa GACPA. Okay, so ito yung meron kami sa procurement namin is green public procurement. Yan. And then, best practices show the individual nature of national GPP programs and provide inspiration for the Philippine GPP. Ito yung in-email ko, lagi ako nag-email ko sa dalawa na to kay Ms. Kayla, saka kay Ms. Laura. Sana po, meron tayong mapakitang best practices pag nag-GPP tayo na module. They are looking for that. Ano yung proof na meron ng mga government agencies? Dapat siguro sa procurement monitoring report, ilagay din. Yung, para makita natin yung percentage ng mga ng GPP procurement ng green public procurement ng government agencies. Kasi wala pa eh. So that we can show na, oh, ito, these agencies have already been procuring green products. Di ba? It would be better. Okay ba yung mga mga bossing ng training? Okay? Hinahanap kasi nila yung best practices na yan. Okay. Okay, then ito yung assessment, no, na if the the PE would go green, no. So you have to look at the assessment matrix is market readiness, ready ba, environmental impact, okay, then cost implications. Pero kasi as of now, kailangan government should step up and help yung mga manufacturers and producers, no, of green product. Dapat meron silang aid ang national government kasi mas mahal po ang green product than the usual yung usual natin nakikitang products, di ba? And then practicability, and then support the government and environmental objectives kasi nga if the product is hindi masyadong artificial yung kanyang ingredients or whatever yung component, medyo safer for the environment and for our health also. And then support the local economy. The government really should support yung mga those who want to go green na mga businesses. Yan. Okay? So, there's a green public procurement roadmap dated under GPPB Resolution 25/2017, no? Advancing until 2022, and in the updates, if you have attended sa updates of procurement, the green public procurement roadmap is being revised, updated. Ina-update nila yung roadmap kasi under 2022. And then, under that resolution, we have 10 CSE, o common use supplies, and non-common use supplies 10. Hindi pa nadagdagan mula 2017, no? So, we have multi-paper copper. Available, sabi, alam mo yung sa Marivelis mo, nakatawa. Ay, hindi. Nung last week, I was in Tarlac State University. So, green public procurement din ang topic ko. Laging napupunta sa akin yun kasama ng iba pang topic. So, habang nag-lecture ako, nag-check sila ngayon sa DDM-PS. Okay. Nagtingnan nila yung virtual store. Para, kasi sabi ko, available sa DDM-PS, sabi ko. Inopen nila yung actual. Ma'am, sabi nila, wala naman po, hahanapin pa po namin. Hindi namin nakikita pag-click namin ng virtual store. Tapos sabi ko, sige, di ba kinuha ko na attention nyo, na hindi nakikita agad ng agencies who would want to buy this product, this 10 CSEs na dapat natin bili ng government agencies because we have the APP for CSE, di ba? Required yan that you procure your common use supply sa DBMPS. Ito yung first set ng CSEs, multi-copy paper, toilet paper, record books, cleaners, etc. So 10 yan. Sabi nila, kung we cannot find the common use supplies na green, what more the non-CSE daw. So if you look at the non-CSEs, ano yan? Computer and laptop monitors, air conditioners, vehicles, refrigerators and freezers, then copiers, paints and varnishes. Ito yung question daw nila, food and catering services. How do we know is green? Nag-filosopo pa isa. Ibig sabihin na puro gulay ang nakainan natin. Kangkong, pechay. Diba? Kasi, nirelate nila sa green. Ganon. So, paano mang yung food and catering yung sinasabi dyan? Services. So, maybe we have to clarify when we wala kami materials on that, so I cannot really expound on that kung paano ba yung food and catering services. And then training facilities and hotels and venues. Paano mo malalaman na green? Baka green ang color ng pintura. Di ba? So how would you know that the hotel and are in compliance with green public procurement? Siguro, sabi ko, tingnan ninyo yung hindi maingay yung air conditioner luma na, maglagay kayo ngayon ng kasi di ba mag-iinit na ng kung ano-ano yun, kung luma na, tapos ang ingay. Siguro those things, sabi ko. And then, toilets and urinals, yung mismong bowl. And then, textile. Kulay green daw ba yun? Sabi nila. And then, textiles, yung pang-uniform. Kasi yung material nun. Okay? Yan. Okay. So now there are pilot under the GPP, nakakabulol. Pilot projects under broad product categories. This is, meron ng pilot projects, no? So, energy, efficiency, pag-blue, hindi ko naman, blue yung background dun eh. Okay, so, we have here, energy, efficient equipment or facility, food and catering services, yung nga, meetings, incentive conferences, like in exhibits, sustainable textile materials, motor vehicle. Kukunin na ba ng PSDBM yun, ng DBMPS yung motor vehicles? There are chika-chika eh. Then ICT, sabi na, hindi nga okay yung computer, yung ano nila, yung desktop eh. Sasakyan pa kaya? Okay. Baka maging kariton, sabi nila. Okay. ICT system, services, equipment, or facilities and construction materials. Okay, so kailangan na talaga ang building ng DBMPS noon, malaki-malaki na, no? Okay, yan. So, maybe in later years, ulit ito. So, ito yung updates ng Green Public Procurement. Sorry ha, pasensya na. Pero the show must go on. Dahil wala yung salamin ko, hindi ako pwede mag-lecture, pwede pa din, di ba? Okay, so 2020, nire-review yung roadmap. Then 2021, nag-launch na ng GPPB monitoring mechanisms on that. And then, nag-attend, kasama po ang Philippines sa medium-low level of GPP implementation together with China, Japan, and Korea. So may series po na mga dialogues, symposium, and then 2022, designation of the Green Public Procurement Focal Persons from National Government through GPPB Resolution number 80-2022. Kaya lang ito, department levels pa lang. National kasi. So I asked yung mga participants na, yung COA, wala pa daw dina-download na in the regional offices, you also have a focal person. So, ang focal person pa lang nasa central offices ng national government agencies. Sino naka-assign sa department head office ng national government sa inyong agency? You all from the regions? Walang taga-head office? Meron, ayun, may nag-raise. Ma'am, meron na po ba kayong, alam po ba nyo na meron na kayong Green Public Procurement Focal Person? Siya lang yung nagtaas ng kamay, siya ng taga-head office eh. Ha? Ay, hindi ka, taga dito ka? Okay, sorry. Meron na kayo. DPM kasi ang meron, no? Yung inyong, okay. Sige. And then, 2022, meron na po tayong first GPP Stakeholders Planning Workshop with pilot agencies, and I know DILG is one of the pilot agencies. And then, in 2022, nag-enroll tayo sa United Nations Environmental Program under SDG 12. Ito SDG 12, Sustainable Production Pattern and Consumption. And then, Implementation Assessment. Yan. So, Philippines is a part of that through the GPPB. So, hinarap na ni Ms. Karina kasi para okay. So, yan. Then, ito mapabasa ko na. The GPPB supports, under GPPB Resolution 01-2023. Ito, bagong resolution ito. The GPPB supports an enabling environment that would stimulate equal opportunities for women-owned and women-led businesses to have meaningful participation in public procurement and government contracting. In particular, the following strategies to the extent followed by the provisions of RA 9184. So meron na ngayong women power. Dati naman kahit sa bahay ang boss. Women, hindi man. Sa ano lang, in principle lang ang lalaki ang head of the family. Sa totoong buhay, nanay. Pag sabi ni nanay na, ang nanay na ganito, tatahimik ng tatay, or else hindi siya pakakainin. Okay? Yan. So, yan. Paano ba yan? Bakit tayo mag-go gender responsive? Okay, kasi, according to study, statistic yan, 58.8% or 2.5 million women-led businesses in the Philippines. Yan na as of 2023. Laki, no? 58.8. Oh. Ba't bibigyan pa ng priority? Correct, sabi. Babae yun na nagsabi. Ako din nga, hindi binabasa ko to. Sabi ko, ba't kailangan pa? 58.8%, masigit pa nga Diba? Kasi 50% na dapat yung kung equal O hindi equal, pero wala merong ganito So, because of that, I will take over na naman kay...
Alright, thank you, ma'am. Now we're down to our second NT knowledge check question. Sige po. Yan, but I think, ma'am, let's proceed muna po sa ating pong next slides. Let's have the second Menti question later on.
Okay. Kasi, nagtaka nga ako bakit lumitaw dyan yung slide na yun, meron pa isa Diba? Sabi ko, bakit lumitaw yung Menti na yun? Okay. Sasagot na yun. Okay, baka ang mic, medyo nawawalan na ng battery. So, how to go gender responsive. So, yun yung gagawin na process. Review, enhance, collaborate, encourage. O ano gagawin sa review? Review the existing requirements and procedures in the conduct of market study o market scoping si Attorney Dex, mamaya. O market study or market scoping and identify ways for PEs to ensure meaningful competition across all suppliers, including women-owned or women-led businesses. Nakatuwa ng mga road namin mga babae. Okay. Then, under enhancement, enhance greater access to markets of women-owned and women-led business through e-commerce and e-procurement systems. Yan. Online. Collaborate with private sector entities, civil society organization, women's group, and other stakeholders to leverage expertise, resources, and networks in advancing equality. Then encourage government agencies, corporations, and large buyers to prioritize sources from women-owned suppliers when procuring goods or service online. Question ko sa inyo, kay tatanungin ko, do you think magiging bias o may prejudice na ilalagay nyo sa PR na kailangan babae ang sumali? Yes. Diba? O tuwang-tuwang Gabriela dito. Diba? Kasi, ayan, okay. So, how to go about that? Wala pa atang guidelines kasi yan na yung end na yan So, mag-menti na tayo. End na yun ng slide Pero wala pa ang how to go about this gender. Papasok ito sa procurement planning. Kasi siyempre pagawa ng PPMP, ng end user units. Di ba? Okay. So, paano gagawin yun? Baka ma-violate ang principle ng 9184 on competitiveness. Don't you think? Kasi because why on the enactment of the GPRA is competitiveness. So pagka pagka nilagay mo sa procurement planning mo na para ma-comply with gender responsive. Di ba? Ilalagay mo. Kasi kung hindi, kailangan hindi eh. O paano yung gagawin ng bank ngayon? Pagka nag-evaluate sila, hindi naman pwedeng bigyan nila ng preferential baba, hindi nakalagay dun sa ano, di ba? So, siguro, GPPB will come out with the guidelines on how to go about this. For the meantime, yan lang yung ating munang pag-uusapan. Yes. Mamaya ata, meron pa kayong exercise, di ba? Ang nakalagay sa ating general rules ay questions will be answered after the session. Meron pa tayong mentee question, mentee exercise.
Thank you very much, ma'am. That ends our first technical session on procurement updates. Again, that was our GPTV recognized trainer, Miss Lindsay Campo. But before we let you go, ma'am, no, let's have our open forum na po. We will be having again our open forum after every session. So for our open forum, we will be accommodating one online question, then one on-site question. Now, ma'am, may I please your question?
Miss, hindi na natin yung mentee?
Yes, later on.
Wait.
So for our first question, ma'am, we have this online. The question is, for the renewal contract, when should we update our APP? Prior po ba to the renewal or after the renewal?
Of course, prior. You're going to, di ba, mention ko kanina, you're going to place that in your, even in the document, kung that's recurring, inonote niyo na doon na i-renew. Diba, first time siya, first procurement yon. You are going already to place. So you're going to note that in the PPMP of the end user, in the APP ultimately. May remarks column dun sa APP natin.
Alright, thank you very much, ma'am. Yung the participant who raised that question ay again po online. So kung meron pa po kayong follow-up question, you can also drop your follow-up questions in our Facebook comment section. And now let's go to our on-site or live question. One question lang po ang ating pong i-accommodate. Again, only related question shall be accommodated by our resource speaker. So, yeah. Let's have, sir.
General Director po sa Department of Finance. And may question lang po ako regarding sa regular and recurring services. Included po ba si internet service?
Wala siya dun eh. It's not there.
So, doon pa rin siya sa...
Pero sa telecommunication, pwede siya. Internet. Telecommunication. Yes, sorry. It's there.
So, wala na po yung mga 21.
Nakalin.
I think yung sabi ng 21 po yung sa WEPI. Ang susundin na natin is sa regular recurring services.
Yes, kasi it's there.
Thank you po.
Alright, thank you very much, sir. And of course, once again, thank you very much po, Ma'am Lynn Secampo. And that ends our first technical session. Another round of applause po. Again, please, for our resource speaker. Now, at this point po, I would like to take this opportunity po as well to advertise yung ating pong mga available booths sa baba sa ating pong lobby. Kanina, we discussed a little bit about Regina. Meron po tayong Regina and OPP booth available po sa baba until 4:30 today until Friday. So after our procurement forum this morning, pwede niyo po i-visit yung ating available booths po once again sa ating pong lobby of the GPPTSO building. And so at this point, let us now proceed agad-agad po sa our second technical session, and that is market scoping. So for this technical session, allow me to introduce our next speaker. Our next speaker is a GPPB recognized trainer as well. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Attorney Dexter Maharaig.
Good morning everyone. Gising pa po ba kayo? Hindi naman po bawal matulog. Bawal lang gisingin yung katabi pag natutulog kayo. Yeah. Okay. But I was tasked to share with you the insights on market scoping. So medyo, ano pa rin, I'm still in awe of this building. No? Medyo ginagawa pa sa baba, but when you enter, everything is properly placed. Okay. Tapos, when it was mentioned earlier na when we started, the slides were not, as presentable or uniform for everyone. Kasi nga, depending on when the request was made and when we were informed, no, kagaya ni Ma'am Lynn, biglaan lang. But it's ready. Pero dati-dati, yung biglaan, tatawagan ka ng kagabi, para mag-lecture na yung umaga, so hindi ka na makapag-prepare. Meron naman na isang buwan ka nag-prepare, kaya yung sinasabi ni Ma'am na mahaba yung slides mo, kasi isang buwan ka, in-inform ka 1 month before eh. Oy! Anyway, so, and then when we were trained, more 12 years ago, 13 years ago, doon nag-umpisa. Okay? And then, so every time that I get to attend trainings and seminars, I expect the same material. So when I moved from the Office of the President sa GSIS, so I'm with GSIS now, sabi nga ni Ma'am, inactive service, yung unang-unang seminar na na-attendan ko for compliance dun sa requirement ng training happens to be yung procurement training. Pagdating doon, yung slides na ginagamit ng service provider was a different set of slides. So I was expecting familiar faces. So kilala naman namin yung mga mukha ng mga fellow resource persons namin. So wala akong kilala. Okay, so apparently, at that time, it was Agia. Yung mga, but they weren't yet recognized by GPPB at that time, back in 2015, 2016. The recognition of GPPB came around 2019. Kahit kami po, we used to be GPPB TSO recognized when we started, about 10 years ago, when we were allowed to speak with you. But in 2020, okay, doon po nag-start yung recognition sa amin ng GPPB mismo. So yung tatak GPPB TSO, yung slogan came later. Okay, so yeah. And in the process, tuloy-tuloy po. So, some of the time, we are seated also with you as participants. In other times, we are resource persons, so we don't claim the sole interpretation or representation of the procurement laws. We just share what we are updated on. Yearly ho kasi pina-update din kami. So we undergo training and retooling. Okay. Umpisahan mo ba agad yan?
The question context again, quick.
Mapasok sa babayan. Okay. So the outline of my presentation will go from market scoping and project costing to the preparation of cost estimates. And then we discuss the elements of good cost estimate, and then essential factors to consider, and then the cost estimating process. So for market scoping and project costing. So when we prepare our PPMP, okay, sinasabi natin ano yung starting point when you start planning. So we all agree as procurement practitioners that planning is essential for everything. Diba? Yung napupunta sa budget natin na pina-approve, it all starts with the activities that you have identified to include in your budget. So sabi natin, di ba, when I was new sa Office of the President, I was tasked to assist in the preparation of our budget. So syempre, pagdating doon, may isang staff na gumagawa doon for years. Of course, that was, wala pang, actually, when I started, kasabay, when I started my government service, kakapasa lang ng RA 9184. So medyo ganun katagal na po ako sa gobyerno. Okay, kasabayan ko siya, halos. In 2003, I started in government. So when I was tasked planning, di ba? So I don't know if yung mga bata dito syempre wouldn't be able to relate kasi 9184 na nagisnan nyo. Pero when we do trainings outside Metro Manila, see more senior faces, ang ginagamit, di ba? Asan yung budget natin last year? Kukunin mo yung listahan, then do some math at 20% to the quantity, check the price. Di ba? That's the planning you know. I don't know kung hanggang ngayon po ginagawa ninyo yun. Pananalangin ko na lang po kayo. But the risk of that would be, dyan po papasok yung naku, sobrang dami nang nailagay ko, hindi mo nagamit, or kulang yung nailagay ko, kasi kulang sa planning. Okay, so that tayo papasok. When you say market scoping, aside from, kasi tama naman na yung ginamit mo is historical data, kasi yun yung listahan mo last year. But the problem is, hindi mo in-update. Kasi ginamit mo lang yung sinabit mong plan, kasi nga due na bukas. Okay? Okay? Nakarinig na ba kayo ng nag-strategic planning for APP preparation for 2024, ginawa ng January or February 2024. Diba? Dapat ang ginagawa nyo na ngayon, by this time, you're already finalizing your PPNP for 2025. Diba? Okay? Kasi sabi nila, hindi pa raw kasi approve yung budget as of September, October, November, so hindi sila makapag-plan. But yung pinag-uusapan doon, yung for this year. From last year. Anyway. So apart from that data, you should, yung data na hiningi mo last year, dapat tinatrack nyo. Ilan ba yung nagamit nyo, ilan ba yung natira, ilan pa ba yung kailangan. So you check your available supplies. Available stock. Tapos ano ba yung kailangan nyo? Maganda ba yung quality ng mga ginamit nyo? So that you can check your suppliers. We need market availability. Mahirap maglagay ng item or a project, no, na wala kang pagkukunan. Wishlist ba? Gumawa ako ng napakagandang specs pero wala namang mabibiling gano'n. Di ba? Mahirap yun. So we check suppliers, make sure hindi siya patented na isa lang ang gumagawa. Di ba? So that we can encourage competition. And then we check on the general market condition. We see the market trends, di ba? There are simply items that you buy year in, year out. Okay? And even the common use supplies, we don't expect them to be available 24/7 sa PSDBM. So we are forced to buy outside. Sine-check din natin. Kailangan pa ba natin yan? Di ba? When we procure, when we use letterheads, di ba? Siyempre, yung letterhead ko na magaganda. Sa Office of the President, obviously, hindi po pwede yung lahat ng ginagawa namin print out lang, tapos nakasama na yung letterhead ng OP, di ba? Because for proclamations, special type of paper yan, may seal yan. May nilalagay yung presidential seal, yung hologram dun sa ilalim, of course, but the letterhead should be different from the regular memos and what have communications that you send out. Okay, so pag pinoprocure ko yan, nilalagay ko yun. And having discussed green public procurement, meron tayong green consideration at in inputting our requirements, our specifications, we be gender responsive. Sa GSIS right now, as far as green considerations are concerned, medyo maganda. Kasi, again, when I was new, Then I became part of the TWG for goods. Okay. Limang Bids and Awards Committee kasi ng GSIS na kahiwalay. Goods and services, dalawang cluster. We have infrastructure, and then IT projects, and reinsurance. So nung umpisa doon, we were procuring tissue paper. Kalo-launch lang ng Green Public Procurement sa amin. May dala pa akong poster na then the executive director was Attorney Dennis Chago. So, di ba, kailangan recycled paper, market availability, ganyan. Pero ang specs ng end user namin at that time was virgin pulp. Okay, so yung mapuputi yung paper. So, kami nahihiya. Anong i-report ko pagka tinanong ko sa sharing during, mag-procure kami ng tissue paper pero virgin pulp. Di ba? That was what? 9 years ago. So right now, pagka nag-procure kami, ayun na. Siyempre, and compared, yung sinasabi naman kanina, yung market availability, medyo mahal noon. But right now, halos, it's the time bago na eh. Because of that initiative of government, manufacturers were forced to follow market trends. Kasi the direction of government is green procurement. So they have to comply. So sila, dumami na. I remember, bagong palit yung mga ilaw namin sa OP, yung fluorescent bulb. Pero nung naglabas sila ng LPD, siguro pinagtatanggal, pinagpapalitan, lumiit. And then after a few months or something, di ba may metrics yung DOE, kung ilang percentage yung savings na nagagawa na during the time of President Arroyo. So, may mga nakapasikip doon sa harap ng building nyo kung ano yung energy rating ng agency ninyo. Simply by changing the lights that you use. So, ganun sinasabi natin. Hindi lang natin napapansin, but in all types of procurement, when we procure motor vehicles, okay, sinasabi ni kailan binugbulungan dito, are we, motor vehicles being put back in PSDM? 2018, 2019, they wanted to include it. Inabot ng pandemic yung guidelines, pero same year, pandemic, September, October, dinilist din siya. Diba? Acknowledging the fact that there would be difficulties in centralizing procurement for motor vehicle. As of now, malay ko, balik din, hindi natin masabi. Next slide. Okay. So now, projects would require technical specifications. Okay. I remember one agency I presented in Bacolod. During the open forum, raised her hand and asked me, "Sir, pwede po bang pag nag-procure ng bond paper, yung pwede raw masulatan?" Sabi ko, so the first thing that I asked was, bakit ano pong problema dun sa procure yung bond paper? Kung galing PSDBM yan, nasusulatan naman sa PSDBM, di ba, late lang. Pero sabi niya, manipis po masyado eh. Ano ho bang nilagay niyo sa technical specifications niyo? Ang sagot niya, ano ho yun? Diba? So pag nag-purchase request ka, okay, so ano na to? When you're requesting for purchase, diba, PR, nasa ATP mo na yan, napasok na sa budget mo yan. Diba? So nung napasok yan sa budget, wala pa yung initial specifications on meron, pero di ba, you prepare it when you're about to procure it. So when you start it, pag-submit mo ng request, lalagay mo doon kung ano yung characteristics ng binibili mong bond paper. Anong size? Bond paper, A4, legal, long, and then substance mo ba? Substance 16, 18, 20, and then meron pa silang mini-measure, GSM. Diba? So, ilagay yun. We had, I don't know if you get yung mga giveaways po ng corporate gift items ng GSIS. We used to have, well, until now, yung notebooks. Okay, hindi nyo kailangan malunod sa kape para magkaroon ng planner. Maganda rin naman yung planner namin. Artwork pa ng GSIS yung cover. But during procurement, as part of the post-qualification, Actually, nilalagay namin sa specs yun, doon pa lang sa opening kasama ng hybrid specs namin, we do product testing. So may grading sila. Pass and fail naman, di ba? Yung based on, kumbaga, kung mali yung sukat na binigay mo, hindi ka papasa. Okay, hindi ka aabot doon bago mag-post qual. So doon pa lang sa screening, of course, generic yun. And one of the specs we include there is that doon sa paper, hindi dapat mag-bleed pag sinulat mo yung favorite pen na nakukuha natin sa PSDBM. Diba? 0.5 gel pen. Okay? So sinusulat, and sabihin nyo, how do you test it? Siyempre susulat mo, titingnan mo, and then you give a corresponding. But pag nag-bleed, yung bumabakat, hindi mo magamit yung likod ng papel. But it's part of ano rin eh. Diba? Tama naman. Kasi kung masyado manipis yung papel nga, sayang, we can maximize. Of course, subject to proper disposal of paper. But, ewan ko kung nag-IS mo kayo, yung kasing isang auditor namin pala, nakakuha ng information from the trash can kasi hindi properly disposed yung diba? Yung likod na ginamit ng scratch pala, like data or something. So, kaya ngayon po, puro shred kami as recommended. Okay. So when we prepare the specifications, okay, madaling sabihin, madaling magandang pakinggan, di ba? It should be accurate, clear, logical, and non-restrictive. But it helps to have an outline of detailed requirements and standards. So, sabi niyo pa, paano ko maisip yun? Keep in mind, ano yung kailangan ng office mo? Ano ba? Diba? Of course, di mo kailangan isulat kung bakit mo binibili yung item. Okay, hindi man essay question yan. But, what does your office need? Okay? And then, based on experience, you just, diba? Last year, ito yung require namin. Okay? Simple procurement of yung document reader. Diba? So yung binili mo document reader, syempre kung ano na-deliver, syempre, ano lang yan. So it has a lifespan of, okay, mga 5 years or so. Pagka nasira niya, syempre, hahanap ka na. Yung sinasabi natin kanina, check the market trends, ano yung magandang spec, and then you include it. Deadline. Okay? Sinabi mo masyadong malaki, hindi na uso yun. Yung mga overhead projector na malalaki, may maliliit na. Diba? You include the functionalities and the performance standards. Why? It's not the brand. Okay. Of course, we benchmark. Sinasabi natin, hindi naman po pwedeng walang brand kasi hindi mo makukuha ang price. So yung basis mo has been patterned from a specific brand that you have in mind. But what you write down is, ano ba yung ginagawa nun? If you're buying batteries, di ba, hindi mo naman pwede ilagay energizer. Pero pwede mo ilagay, it should keep going and going and going and going. Di ba? You define functional performance standards, di ba? You should be able to check. And then, sabi natin, what does your office need? It should be aligned with that organization's needs. National government, di ba, usually every 6 years, nagpapalit ng heads. But more or less, the organization's thrust doesn't necessarily change. So meron kayong fixed direction. Nag-iiba lang ng focus every management. So we're probably hearing where GSIS is going these days, di ba? Kung saan dinadala yung mga contributions ninyo. We've been investing. So yung we're in the process of actually procuring now alternative power, so yung solar cells. Lalagay namin doon sa bubong ng GSIS. If you've been to the GSIS, so yung katabi ng Senate. Pati yung Senate, GSIS building din po yun. Ginagawa na yata yung Senate office sa BGC. So I don't know kung sinong magre-rent ng kalahati ng building namin pagkalis ng Senate. So the specifications include now yung particulars of what you are procuring, the weight, size, color, what will it be used for, or its purpose, and of course the output performance. Next slide. So papasok na yun dyan, yung sinasabi nating market scoping and project costing. When you know what you want to buy, you will be able to more or less come up with a realistic cost estimate. Okay? So, kasi even if we procure notebooks, laptops, no? Pasintabi sa mga taga-DepEd, no? Not necessarily sila ron, but okay. Ano ba yun? Dumaan ng PSDBM nga tayo, no? And at the same year na lumabas yun, I was lecturing to PSDBM online, kasi 2021 yun. And when I was asking them, kasi participants to PSDBM naman, I was asking about that issue. Sabi ko, hindi naman ako taga-COA, hindi naman ako nag-audit ng ginawa ninyo. And they answered, wala na po kasi lahat yung mga taong involved doon. Wala na si Asset Lau, napalitan na lahat yung tao. Before Attorney Santiago took over, I guess Attorney Santiago is with BSP na. So big time na talaga. Okay. So we have to match. Okay? We should understand that market scoping and project costing directly linked. Okay, it will help us. Okay, next slide. Okay. So, first, when we prepare cost estimates, next slide. Okay. Ito yung sample ni Dilbert. I don't know if the younger participants would knowledge, pero yan po yung mga cartoon. Bata pa po ako, sila na nandyan. So, basically, ganyan na yan. Yung tatanungin ka ng boss mo, magkano ba ang budget natin sa ganito? Sasabihin mo, wala naman, kahit naman may sabihin ako, di ba naman susundin? Sabi ng boss, at least tinanong kita. Di ba? Para pagka nagkamali, kahit ako yung nag-determine, ikaw may kasalanan. Di ba? Sound familiar? Okay. Di ko kayo susumbong sa hope ninyo. Okay lang. Mahugot din kayo. No? Okay, sige. Next slide. Okay. So what is project costing? So project costing is forecasting the cost of completing a project with a defined scope. So it should include explanation of cost elements using established methods and valid data to estimate future costs of a project based on what is known today. So we can include prediction of quantities, cost, or price of resources in the project. Okay. Because usually when we do project costing, we're doing that for next year's budget. Diba? Ibang usapan yung ang nangyayari, yung mga projects natin na nasa APP for 2024, which were included in the budget last year, based on last year's prices. So it's important to include yung mga forecast on costs. Okay, next slide. Okay. So, rather than relying on yung last year ang request ko ganitong karaming bond paper. Okay? Sama mo na ngayon, last year ganito yung requirement ko. So this year, more or less, eto kami. Check your manpower. Dadagdagan ba kayo ng tao? Nabawasan pa kayo? If you know the management direction, magdadagdag pa ba kayo ng tao o hindi? Kasi, halimbawa, bibili ka ng laptop, sabihin mo, okay, papalitan namin lahat ng laptop namin. Right now, in our department, there's 50 of us. Okay? Sa plano nyo, by end of the year, dapat 70 na kayo. So how do you prepare for that? Diba? So you need to decide what project you should take, and then the eventual scope of the project, and then establish a project cost baseline. And well, yung ensuring that projects remain financially feasible would be dependent on market conditions when you are actually going to procure that product. Next slide. Okay. So, cost estimate is used primarily as inputs for budgeting Okay? And then to authorize a project's budget, and eventually it becomes the approved budget for the contract. Pero look, pag nag-plan ka, nalagay mo na yung project cost mo based on last year, lalagyan mo ng konting inflationary value, 10%, yung, yung provision for escalation of the price. During actual procurement, yung determination ABC is done by your Bids and Awards Committee. Eh ano ginagamit niya? Ipapa-update din sa'yo. So, kung ano yung ginamit mong prices from last year, i-update mo. Parang requirements lang yan ng PhilJeps, di ba? Na yearly ina-update mo. And you can check kung nagbago ba yung presyo. Some items are slow moving, so kahit sa presyo, hindi umaangat. But the price of notebooks, laptops, mga tech items, mga cellphone. Pag binili mo yung iPhone 14, by next year, by next month, by iPhone 15 na. Di ba? Or kahit sa Android. So kasama yan. Kasama yan sa mga, but as far as I'm concerned, as long as it's within ABC, just because ang na-approve sa budget mo, for example, 1 million, tapos after estimating, re-retain mo yung ABC kahit na after updating, bumaba pa siya. Diba? So, it should be based on a realistic value which you are also bound to prepare. Okay, next slide. Okay. So, cost estimates are necessary to support decisions about funding one program over another. Okay? It also becomes basis for our annual budget requests. And then we evaluate resource requirements at key decision points. We also develop performance measurement baselines and increase probability of a project's success. Wait, tingnan nyo. Hindi lahat ng ilalagay nyo sa PPNP, which becomes part of your APP, during the year of implementation, pinatutuloy. I don't know if you've received requests for deletion from the APP. Okay? Anong ginagawa nyo? Dinidelete nyo? Hindi. Okay. And then, if it's given, you delete it. We update it. Okay. Sa amin kasi, ang thinking ko dyan, okay, if it's in the APP, tapos hindi mo na gagamitin, even if you don't delete it, it becomes savings. Kaya lang, si end user, kaya sila nagre-request ng deletion kasi it impacts on their performance. Di ba? Why? Why will it impact? Kasi nagpa-budget ako ng 5 million, tapos hindi ko nabili yung 5 million, inefficient ako in terms of procuring kasi natira yung budget, which is why they ask for deletion. So, I'm the head of the back secretariat of GSIS, and for the past few years, pag may request na gano'n, hindi na namin, we just reply, okay, noted, para kasi pambangga lang naman yan ng end user, pagka sinita sila na, bakit ka ganito? We already requested na hindi tutuloy ang project na yan, and then they will justify why. It's no longer feasible, ganyan. Di ba? Yun yung sa deletion. Pagpasok ng following year, yun ulit yung number 1 nila. Kasi kailangan na nila kasi ganito. Pero nung hindi nila nagawa, kasi October na, November na, hindi pa nila mag-procure. So, i-request nila ng deletion. Pag maaga January, I understand, tama. Pa-resolution natin yan, pa-resolve natin sa committee. Pero kung nagawa na sa third quarter, fourth quarter, diba? The only reason they're deleting it really is because they failed to execute it earlier. Anyway, pero it's part of, diba? Part of the process of cost estimation. Okay, next slide. So, doon sa ating procurement paradigm, we have 4 quadrants. So yung first and second refers to the needs, third and fourth quadrants, satisfaction of needs. Okay? So saan natin nilalagay ang cost estimate? Sabi nyo dito, when we are to procure, there, in the identification. Okay? Pag tinignan mo yan, sabihin mo, how long would it take for a complete cycle? 1 year? Tingin nyo? This is more than a year. Why? Because itong PPMP mo, itong identification phase is your year previous to your APP, di ba? Kasi ito yung nagiging APP mo. So once it becomes an APP, ayan yung papasok. Dito nag-i-start yung year mo. And then, yung procurement phase is actually, ano sabi ng batas? Di ba sa Annex C? For public bidding, di ba? 26 calendar days, not to exceed 126. Oh, so yan lang yung, and then babalik na yan sa implementation. O yung tinatanong ni Ma'am Lynn kanina, you have a procurement division that oversees implementation, everything. Diba? Kasi as far as GSIS are concerned, itong procurement is handled by us, GBAC Secretary. Of course, pagdating dito, sa amin din pala yun, GBAC Secretariat. The Secretariat. But implementation and identification, purely end-user web-based. Okay. So we prepare cost estimates here. Of course, during the assessment stage, may cost estimates pa rin na ginagamit. Kasi si committee will not be comfortable with just the submission of the end-user unit. Papavalidate nila yung presyo. Bakit? Sino ba makukulong pagka mali yung nabili? Sila, di ba? Dahil sila yung nag-recommend. Yung sekretariat, wala problema. Di ba? Wala pa naman akong naalala sekretariat na nakulong. Pero dumadalaw naman kami. So, DWG, administratively, okay, kailangan lang hindi ka maselan, yung marunong kang magbanlaw kasi palagi kang masasabot. But at the end of the day, PWG is recommendatory, right? And yun din naman ang excuse ng committee. Because the Hope approves na back recommendation. Okay? Of course, may resolution sila, but that's another issue. Okay, next slide. Okay. Pag pinlock natin yung cycle, sabi sa inyo, lampas na isang taon. Kasi January to January, 13 months na yun, di ba? Okay. So, right now, andito na tayo sa consolidation, meaning as far back as January and February, when we're talking of procurement identification, this procurement identification is now for the year 2025. Okay? Hindi na natin, in 2024, we're already executing the approval for that. The General Appropriations Act has been approved already, so meron na tayo yan. So, January until March, we prepare the cost-benefit analysis, feasibility study, market study, and then we prepare our procurement management plan, yung PPMP. Okay? Ang kasabay niyan is the budget call hanggang April sa DBM, and then yung budget proposals that are being submitted to DBM. Okay? So once na masubmit yung PPMP, the Secretariat will now consolidate it into an APP, isasubmit na yan for approval sa HOPE. So kung ano yung sinubmit mong APP na hindi pa approved, is actually your indicative APP. Sa GSIS kasi, it was new. Siguro mga 2016 lang naman in-introduce yung indicative APP concept ko, although it has been there since may APP hindi approved. So may tawag sila doon. Pero as a practice, right now, even yung indicative APP namin, may HOPE approval din. Well, as a GOCC, the HOPE of GOCCs would be the Board of Trustees. Pero naka-designate yung aming President General Manager as HOPE. So yung indicative APP namin is signed by the PGM Pero yung APP, until ma-pass yung ano, hindi namin iniintay ang GAA because yung corporate budget naman na sa amin. Usually, September, October, na-approve na yung kaya hindi kami nagkakaproblema. So every time, yung sa reporting or EPA, yung option na wala kaming early procurement, mangilan-ngilan lang yung early procurement namin. Kasi by the time na inuumpis namin yung early procurement, nag-aabot na siya minsan. Okay. So pagpasok ngayon ng July, okay, after na nasubmit na yung APP at na-approve ni HO, July, nare-revise yung PPMP. So di ba ang submission namin ng PPMP at saka ng APP January and July yan. So if there are revisions for the January, sa July natin papasok. The revisions for the next one will be submitted January the following year. Okay? Ano ba yung mga reports natin due for submission this month? PPCPI. Okay? Sabi, hindi na raw tayo i-spoon feed. Hindi na raw sila mag-i-issue ng memo when to sabi, alam nyo na raw yun, malalaki na kayo, nakalagay sa batas kung kung kailan isasubmit, walang year, so we stick to that. Take note, March 31 is Easter Sunday. So sa Civil Code, if the last day falls on a holiday, it's the next day. Pero for your sake, at siguruhin yung ma-receive on time for PBB, siguro dapat Miyerkules Santo pa lang nagsasabit na kayo. Diba? Dahil sabi nga ni Ma'am, yung acknowledgement receipt, hindi pa siya automatic. And dami nating agencies na nagsasabit. Ilan yung nakalista? 600 agencies. Pag nagsabay-sabay yan, bago naman sila auto-replies to acknowledge receipt, but they check also what you submitted. So starting July, nagdi-discussions na. And then enactment of GAA, hopefully hindi naman naabot ng January dapat. Pero yung discussions in Congress already proceeds. Okay, next slide. So what are the elements of a good cost estimate? Okay. Madali sabihin again, it should be accurate. Okay. Yung confidence level, meaning at this price, I'm pretty sure na may mabibili ako. Okay, or from the perspective of a procuring entity, at this price, at this cost estimate, there will be bidders willing to participate. Credibility, okay? Yung prospective bidders will not be saying, saan ba nanggaling ang ABC ninyo? It should be credible enough, backed by proper data, and then the documentation and precision. Okay, so precision addresses your specific next. Reliability, risk detailing, uniformity. Okay. Reliable estimate is something that kahit ipa-review halimbawa ng committee doon sa PWG will turn out fine. Or kahit si bidders, prospective bidders will check reliable prices. Kasi yun yung napapansin din namin in some of our IT projects. Lalo na pag humingi ka ng quotation, they bloat it. So if you just use their quotation, kasi gusto nila, tumaas yung ABC mo. So yung quotation mo mataas. Okay lang yan sa budget na mataas di ba? Kasi para hindi ka kapusin. Ang problema, pagka ipapasok mo na yan, ipavalidate mo. Kasi kung i-retain mo yung ABC at that price, tapos pagdating ng bid opening namin, yung pinakamababa is half. Di ba? Kasi magkakagawan sila, may half. Minsan nga, mas mababa pa sa half. Yun ang problema ko pag nagpe-present sa board. Sometimes, if it is for board approval, di ba? Ang tinatanong lagi nila, is there a threshold for the bid of a bidder? Meaning, ang point nila, kasi kung ang ABC ganito, tapos kalahati yun yung binid nila, are they violating something? Wala, di ba? Kasi kaya nga exactly our purpose. Pero which begs the question, ano ba talaga dahilan bakit kalahati lang yung discrepancy? Instead of looking at bakit ganun, something must be wrong with the bidder, hindi. Something is wrong with their cost estimate. Di ba hindi nyo na-establish kung ano yung kung ano yung parameters to ensure that malapit lang siya. Right? Kasi kung walang kalaban yun, magkano yung bid niya? Eh, di more or less close to ABC or ABC mismo, di ba? I've seen bidders submitting proposals at the last minute. Okay, dalawa yung, well, tatlo actually yung dala nila kasi may envelope pa sila sa likod na maliit. Pero dalawa yung dala nila. At yung pangatlo sa likod kasi yun yung that they are not participating. Kasi tinatanong mo rin pag kumili ka ng bidding doc, tapos hindi ka nag-submit, hihingihan ka rin namin ng reason, ba't di ka sumasali? So sasabihin nila minsan, because the ABC is too low, ganyan. Pero usually kaliwat kanan. Pag may kalaban, pagka walang kalaban, yung isa ilalagay. Pero pag bukas mo, di ba? Meron din silang we have to, dyan. Yung mga style pa na, kunyari tatanungin, ilan na raw ba yung bumibili? Ilan na ba yung nag-submit? Di ba? Sabi mo, tatlo, tapos pag nag-open ka, dalawa lang. Ay, uniform answer yun, para. Okay. So, cost estimates include your risk detailing. Ano-ano yung other factors or risks that you should consider when preparing uniformity, validity, and verification. So, related, di ba? Cost estimate should be verifiable and valid. Okay. There was a time we were procuring face mask. Okay, wag na natin pag-usapan yung face shield, no? Baka may matamaan na naman. Face mask. So when we were procuring face mask, in 2021, okay, so medyo, GCQ, okay, hindi na ECQ, di ba? So when we were procuring face mask, kasi nagkataon, hindi available sa PSDBM. So sa PSDBM not available, so we had to procure it. So public bidding naman. So when we came out with the specs, syempre yung specs na hinahanap mo, hindi yung industrial type, but the medical, the high na. So at that time, parang ABC namin was 90 pesos, and then 80 pesos yung nanalo. After post-qualification, during recommendation for award, sabi ng committee, kasi chinek nila, sabi sa Lazada, 43 lang, may 30 pesos lang, ganyan. Okay? Sabi namin, sa PSDBM, it's 105. So kung available sa PSDBM, wala tayong pinag-usapan, bumili kami ng face mask at 105 pesos at that time. So but then, just to be due diligence, sabi, sige, pag-check ulit yan sa PWG, come up with I remember at that time, wala pa namang online purchase or something yung natin. Available at Lazada, paano mababayaran? Pro abono, na hindi mo ma-reimburse or something, saan mo ikakat ka. Okay? So parang gano'n. So you check. Even prior to the pandemic, nung nasa OP pa ako, we were procuring during the time of President Aquino III. We were procuring yung presidential book, yung parang heritage book containing the past presidents of the Philippines. Okay. So pinapresyohan nila, pang gift daw ni President para sa mga visitors, something to give token. Okay. Ang cost ng libro, ang nakalagay doon was 10,000. Tapos yung packaging niya, 15,000. So 25,000 yung ABC. Kasi yung packaging niya, kahoy, na ilalagay mo doon. So during the back deliberations, ang tinatanong ng back to sa end user, ng chair sa end user, aanin mo naman yung packaging. Di ba pag tinanggal mo yung libro, hindi mo gagawin. So hanggang sa finally, napatanggal yun. The same book, at National Bookstore online, costs parang 7,500 or 5,000 nga lang yata. Sabi, i-update kasi daw yun. So, kasi parang hanggang kay President Arroyo pala. So, idadagdag yung kay President Aquino III, di ba? If you've heard before, nagkaroon ng photoshoot, di ba? Meron pa siyang mga Channel 4 documentary na feature siya. and how the PSG may lumabas nun. Prime time yun, pinalabas sa Channel 4 ata, mga 12 midnight ng Sunday. So, ewan ko kung may nakapanood sa inyo. Okay. Anyway, so nung na-cut down, so sabi ang justification ni end user, no, we were talking already to the author of the book. Eh di ba dapat mas mababa nga? Siyempre wala pa naman dun na ano. So hanggang sa eventually kaka-pre-proc namin, hanggang sa totally, sige iba na lang, bibili nila. Hindi na yun. Kasi hindi komportable yung bank na bibili ka ng token worth 25,000 na mabibili mo sa National Bookstore for 75 except for the packaging, di ba? Eh, ano ba naman talaga gagawin mo sa packaging? Anyway, next. So what do we need to consider? Okay. We prepare cost estimates from the perspective of the project owner. Okay. So dahil nga, kayo ang nag-identify kung ano yan, so dapat, ano-ano yung mga i-consider mo. Okay. Local currency basis, kasi kung imported yan, then you have to factor in the foreign exchange cost. Assuming, siyempre hindi pa rin, at the end of the day, hindi mo problema yun. Problema yan ng bidder mo. Kasi, di ba, kung general enterprise, sila mag-i-import for you, customize lang nila sa iyo yan. And then we include the timelines, kailan mo kailangan. Okay? Medyo ngayon, iniurong ko na lahat ng mga requirement pag nagpa-budget setting kasi, ilalagay ko third quarter. So pagdating ng October, punong-puno yung kalendaryo ko kasi October nagmamadali na lahat. Di ba? Yung staff development ninyo, aka strategic planning. Okay? Di ba? Dapat yung mga January to July yan. Gawin mo, di ba? Kasi para sa dulo, execution ka na. Although you're saying, for 2025 naman yan. Okay. What are the financial charges during implementation, base cost, and contingencies? Okay. Kasi yung normal na ginagawa, hindi ba normal, yung gawian na natin, tatawag lang natin, hello supplier, magkano ang ganito nyo? Then bababa mo na. Okay. And there are other charges during implementation. Bumibili ka ng laptop for all your, kung marami kayong branch offices. Diba? So sasabihin mo, okay, de-deliver mo yan sa head office. So yun yung cost mo. Pero kung sabihin mo, hindi, paano yung makakarating doon sa branch offices ko? If you include it, dapat kung mag-a-add-on sila. So, evaluate mo, would it be cheaper that way or ikaw mag-implement? Meron kasi kami nakita before na pinadeliver lahat ng items sa head office, pero ang cost, kasama sa specs namin, pag deliver ni bidder, doon na diretso sa branches. So, syempre, dadagdag na sa cost na yun. And when we total that, tinanggal mo yung cost nung item plus the delivery, siguro mga 2 to 3 million nga tayong add-ons. So, kung parang isipin mo, as a project owner, kung may 3 million ako na ipapatong dahil ang galing ko yun at ako ang mag-distribute, will I be able to use up the 3 million to distribute it or not? Kasi pwede naman yan, di ba? Kung regularly naman nagpapadala ka sa branch ng include mo doon, how much is the cost for that? Okay, so, kasama sa mga sinasabi mo. So, not just basing your cost on or your estimate on the base cost na magkano yung item. Contingencies, sama mo inflation, sama mo yung increases, normal increases. Next slide. Okay. Yeah. Ang base cost mo, okay, usually ang nagagamit lang natin direct cost. Diba? Yung magkano yung item. Pero, diba, yung item na pinili mo, meron niyang maintenance, diba, may service level agreement ka pa pag minsan in other items. Kung mga consumables yan, wala yun. Pero yung services, di ba, would have that. Capacity development, consulting services, cost of project management. If you procure services that would require iti-train ka muna kung paano mo gagamitin, di ba, with cost. Of course, taxes and duties given, financing of project costs, other kind of in-kind contributions or safeguards and related costs. Pagdating sa contingency that you account for in your estimate, physical contingency, yung sinasabi natin na ano yung subject to change in technology ba yan, ina-identify mo na item. Okay? And then price contingency, affected ba yan ng government regulation? Nagbago ng tax rate, nagbago ng wage rate for our janitorial services, security services. Meron silang bago rates for yung PANPAW rates. Tingnan din natin yan. So price contingency, isinasama natin dun sa ating estimates. Next slide. So this is how we do it. Okay? So yung starts with the research, okay? Then assessment, going to analysis and presentation. So we identify the purpose. So ano ba ang purpose mo for the estimate, and then you develop the plan. Okay. After doing that assessment, para lang meron kang basis to support why you are procuring a project. Hindi mo pwede sabihin, bakit ka ba bumibili niya? Wala lang, trip ko lang. Diba? Hindi. Diba? You have to have a purpose for that. And then you assess, makakatulong ba sa goal ng office mo or ng department mo with the purchase of that? Even simple items. Bibili ka ng shredding machine, bibili ka ng overhead projector, kailangan mo ng microphone for presentation purposes. Okay. And then analysis, you have to define the program, determine the structure, identify ground rules and assumptions, data, okay? And then develop the point estimate. Tapos next level would be sensitivity checking. Okay, parang check if after assessing dun sa structure na ginagamit mo, still viable pa ba to procure that project. And then risk or uncertainty analysis. What if hindi ma-award on time? What if walang mag-bid? If there's a failure bid? If there's a change in the tone at the top, di ba? Management perspective, nagbago, sabihin sa'yo, huwag mo na i-procure yan, hindi mo kailangan yan. Okay? Nag-section 41 bigla, reservation clause. Document the estimate, present for approval, and then update the estimates to reflect actual costs. Next slide. Okay. So, top-down estimating or historical costing, ito yung sinasabi natin na, next slide. We check on our previous purchases. Okay? So, ilalatan ko, siguro yung for the, kung yearly mo pinoprocure, papalatag mo dyan, in 2019, magkano ba bili natin dyan? In 2020, of course, mag-skew yung data mo ng 2020, 2021. Okay, 2022, medyo realistic na, bumabalik na tayo sa pre-2020 levels now. Next. So, analogous estimating. Okay. So, when you say analogous estimating, we're talking of projecting based on similar data that we've used before. So, it's actual historical data. Okay. It requires little data kasi titingnan mo lang magkano ABC natin last year, magkano yung lowest bidder, tapos kung magkano yung mga presyong sinabit ng mga bidders for the previous procurement. It is reasonably quick, readily understood, accurate for minor deviations from the analog, and it has a good audit trail kasi naka-document na yung previous data. Ang problema, the weakness would be it's reliant on a single historical data point. Okay, wala, ang babasihan mo lang doon, cost lang, di ba? Eh sinasabi natin kanina, we should go beyond just the base cost. Okay? So, it is difficult to identify the appropriate analog, meaning kung ipoproject mo yung kasunod, hindi mo masabi, and then requires normalization to ensure accuracy. So, accuracy depends on the item similarity and relies on extrapolation or expert judgment for adjustment factors. Okay. So yung expert judgment then would mean judgment of your committee. So kung ilan ang composition ng committee mo, you're talking of at least 5 adjustment points. Diba? Iba-iba lang na yan. So usually it's being set by the chair and then hihingi ni chair yung opinion ng other members. So are we all in agreement with this determination? It's also difficult to assess the effect of designer change and it's blind to cost drivers. So when do we use analogous estimating? We use it early in the design process when there is little or less data available for cross-checking. Okay? Kasi kahit na pumasok mo sa AP, na-approve yung budget, pumasok sa APP, during ABC determination, nagpapa-analogous estimating din tayo before we finally set the ABC for posting. Diba? The rough order of magnitude estimate and then the architectural studies and long-range planning. Next slide. Next type of estimating is your bottom-up estimating. So bottom-up refers to the most accurate estimating technique. It's versatile, can be used for many project types, but it is time-consuming. At the end of the day, comfort level of your committee would be the basis for the consumption time, di ba? Yung sa discussions yan eh. Kahit na gaano ka-prepared si end user, pag hindi niya masagot ang tanong ni committee, that takes time. Okay? Next slide. So, the strengths of bottom-up estimating, it's intuitive, defensible, and time-honored. It is also easily audited and tracks vendor codes, sensitive to labor rates. Credibility is provided by visibility to each cost element. It's severable. Okay? Kasi yung components mo, naka-itemize. So, pwede mo tanggalin, sabihin mo, tanggalin mo yung para mabawasan. Huwag natin i-include yung distribution cost or whatever. Diba? Ang nagpapataas sa quotations natin sa laptop would be, hihingi tayo ng sabihin natin, ang warranty natin, ang typical is 3 months, di ba? Sabihin natin warranty 3 years. So akala natin, pag humingi tayo ng warranty ng 3 years, libre yun. Hindi. Naka-factor in yun doon sa binabayaran natin. So subukan yung mag-request ng warranty na 3 years. Tingnan nyo kung ano yung magiging presyo. Sabihin nyo, bakit sa ganito lang yan? Kasi yung bibilin mo sa mall, will have that normal 3 years warranty on and then typical 1 year for parts that are dadalhin mo sa kanila. Di ba? Provides excellent insight into major cost contributors. If it is a high dollar item, it is reusable, easily transferable for use and insight into individual project budgets and performer schedules. So the weakness would be, it would require detailed design, slow and laborious, significant effort required to create a build-up estimate, susceptible to errors and omissions, double counting, it is not responsive to what if, okay, and then new estimates must be built up for each alternative scenario, kaya nga time-consuming kasi, what? Mahilig pa naman ba sa GSIS ng what if, yung secretariat na yung nagtatanong sa end user. Cannot by itself provide statistical confidence level. It is costly or cumbersome. Does not provide good insight into drivers. And then the relationship or link among cost elements must be programmed by the analyst. So we use bottom-up estimating in production estimation, negotiations, software development, mature projects, and resource allocation. So yeah. Next. Parametric estimating. Okay? Ano daw yung parametric estimating? Tumingala ka? Okay. A method of estimating the cost of a project or part of a project based on one or more project-based cost factors. So when you talk parametric, di ba? Halos, ako initially, pag sinabi mo parametric, hindi na maarok ng iyong pangunawa. Di ba? Medyo parametric na, lumalabas na sa kalawakan mo, malalim. Next slide. What really, okay. It's reasonably quick once developed. It's an excellent tool to answer many what-if questions rapidly. Kasi may mga scenarios ka na dyan. So it involves statistically sound predictors that provide info about the estimator's confidence of their predictability. It is objective, little bias, and eliminates reliance on opinion through actual observations. Defensibility rests on logical correlation, and then cost driver visibility, and good audit trail. Okay? The weakness would be the model behavior has to be understood. Okay? It's often difficult for others to understand the statistics associated with the estimation relations. It lacks detail. Okay? For model investment, cultural barriers, and then the appropriate data and generating statistically correct data. So we use this for budgetary estimates, design to cost trade studies, long-range planning, cross-check, baseline estimate, cost goal allocations, architectural or engineering studies, sensitivity analysis, data-driven risk analysis, or software development. Next slide.
Thank you, Attorney Dex. Now, at this point, let's have our mentee knowledge check. So, ready your QR scanners, and please scan the QR code that is being flashed in your screens. Wait lang daw po. Also, I'm seeing our participants, especially at the back, kinukuhanan yung ating slides. Do not worry, we will be providing all the presentation materials to all of you after the official end of our event. Ayan. Now for our second technical session po, I believe meron lang tayong isang mentee knowledge check, so we are expecting to have a 100% perfect answer. Ayan. Sure na. Yan na po ang ating QR code for our mentee knowledge check. May nakapasok na po ba? Can I see? Ay, sandali na po. Ayan. Wala pa po. Instructions, blank instruction po ang nakikita ng ating participant. Alright? Hold on lang po. Sige, while we settle our first and final mentee knowledge check for our second technical session, let's skip muna. And then, let's have that later on after the official end of our second technical session. Ready, Dex?
Hello. So, ito lang. Favorite natin na gustong iwasan. Okay? IU, expended, okay? Irregular, unnecessary, excessive, extravagant, and unconscionable expenditures. So in every planning that we do, in every project that we think of, we should always have this in mind. Okay? Ayaw nyo na flag yung inyong project as irregular, as unnecessary, as excessive or extravagant, and unconscionable. Okay? These are unreasonable expenses. So it's either immoderate quantity, and exorbitant price. So this includes expenses exceeding what is usual or proper, beyond the just measurable amount, or expenses in excess of reasonable limits. Next slide. Okay. Excessive expenditures. So it's either quantity or the price. Okay. Penalties, at the very least, disallowance. Okay. Very least ba yun? Kasi may criminal eh. Oh, so, disallowance, and then disapproval in audit of a transaction either in whole or in part. So you check the case of Miralles versus COA. Marami po yan. That's, next slide. Ayun na pala yun. Okay, sige. Miralles. Hindi. Yung I also include that usually in my lectures. Sa in-house lectures namin sa GSIS, I make sure to include. Kasi kung minsan, pag nagpe-present yung end user units, they define the project, pero pagka binangga mo doon sa IUEUE at wala kang sagot sa item na natamaan, eventually pag na-flag kasi siya, at least may support. So makita, di ba? Usually the burden is for the procurement entity to show that you have considered all these in preparing. Kasi kung hindi mo sa isinama, hindi mo man lang inisip na hindi mo man kailangan, probably like the presidential token earlier. Di ba? Kung sinabi mo lang dahil ni-request ni end user, go na yan, di ba? So sometimes you have to look into that. Kasi kung ma-establish mo doon pa lang sa pre-procurement conference mo that it is either irregular, unnecessary, excessive, unconscionable, di ba? You can probably cut it out. So, yan lang po.
Thank you very much, Attorney Dexter Macarai. So that's the end of our second technical question. Now we proceed to the open forum. Again po, we will be entertaining one online question, then one on-site or live question. Now, Attorney Dex, we have our first question po from our online participant. So the question is, in preparing the PPMP and APP, sino po ang gagawa ng market scoping? Si supplier officer po ba or end user?
Okay. Sino? Obviously, di ba? Market scoping, paano siya mapupunta sa ano yung officer guys? The supply officer will just validate what was submitted by the end user unit. Di ba? Kasi parang check and balance din yan. Although it's not, okay, again, doon sa mga tools for cost estimation and in the preparation of your technical specifications, there's no hard and fast rule on what you should use. It's more of what you're comfortable with. Kumbaga, nung araw, kung may nakakaalala pa sa inyo ng liwasang Bonifacio, di ba? Na if kaya mong i-defend sa liwasang Bonifacio, you can stand by it. Siguro mas bago kapag may katarungan, ipaglaban mo. Okay? Kung mas bago pa, hindi ko na alam. Yun yung naisip ko. But point is, each agency or office would have a procedure of its own. But, di ba? Again, paano aabot doon sa supply officer mo yung request kung hindi nanggaling sa'yo? Then you will have, if you pass the responsibility of determining your market scoping doon sa next level, then huwag kang magreklamo kung ano yung deliver sa'yo because it's based on the market scoping of another person, not from the end user perspective na sinasabi niya.
Thank you very much, Attorney Dex. For our on-site question, anyone?
Sir, thank you for the presentation. Siguro, napansin ko lang, yesterday kasi we had the discussion also on the requirement. Actually, it was the opening of the bids. And one of the issues that was manifested nga po ng aming bidder was the application of RA 11 and 17. Siguro alam niyo yun, yung sa security services, hiring of So, yung position of mga fees, yung rates, gano'n, halimbawa in determining yung ating specifications, costing, siguro we should also consider yun, yung halimbawa yung anticipation of yung appropriate, ano ba, yung mga laws, like halimbawa kung a standardization of coming years, gano'n, or application of additional bill. Siguro yun, siguro i-consider na natin yung in coming up with yung mga good forecasting ng prices. So, pero siguro, relate ko na lang din po yun siguro, I don't know, ngayon po, siguro how do you, advise us on how to go about yung gano'n, like, siyempre hindi natin anticipate yung lalabas na panpaw rate, pero biglang may low, ganyan. So how do we anticipate that? Siguro sa costing, pag-develop ng ating market studies.
The PAD rates po kasi, unavailable na siya agad. Available siya agad, even before you prepare set of specs, nandiyan na po yan. Nagkakaroon nga lang ng diferensya yan, assuming, in instances where, so based on the, kunyari ngayon tayo nag-prepare, so kung punta ako sa website ng PATPAW, and then I'll see the rates there, I'll use it as figures in my detailed estimate ko. No? Hindi naman lalabas yung detailed estimate, you just have the basis for determining the ABC. And then I check on the wage rate. Okay? So yan. So kung ang nangyari, so based on that, yun nilagay. So pagka nilagay mo yun dun sa, pag pinost mo yun at approve yung ABC mo, nakalagay dun based on the PATPAW rates as of. Kasi it can happen, the only thing na magkakaproblema ka dapat is pagdating ng bid submission mo, biglang nakaka-implement lang ng increase in wage rate. Diba? Wage rate hikes. Tapos depende rin kung nationwide yan, kung Metro Manila, kasi every region, iba-iba ang rate mo. And then, check mo rin yung PhilHealth rates. Kung although, kakataas lang nila, diba? So, added cover naman sa atin. Or added cost lang. Kinadilidak sa akin, hindi nyo na pinapansin sa payslip ninyo. Laki ng impact, di ba? Kano lang nung araw. Pero it should have been included already po. That can be addressed. So, in case, doon papasok. So, kunyari, may nag-question sa inyo during pre-bid conference or ano ba ito, opening na? Or pre-bid? Pre-bid? Okay. At least sa pre-bid kasi, you can now opt to explain to them kung ano yung naging basis mo. So kung hindi talaga siya nakasama doon, sa isasabit nila proposal, hindi nila isasama. Pero if it's a requirement that has to be included by law, pero dapat talaga yun na yung una. Pero ang usually discrepancy lang namin sasabihin sa iyo, sir, dito sa yung rate na ginamit niyo, luma pa yan. Kasi kung ang ginawa mo, yung ano ba yung requirement ko last year, nilagay ko ngayon, hindi ko in-update yung rates. Biglang pag-check mo, oo nga, magbibid bulletin ka. Diba? But it shouldn't affect the ABC because if it affects the ABC, failure of bidding, ulit ka. You cannot increase the ABC. You can reduce if resulting will be decreased. So yun ang determination nyo. During pre-bid conference, how sensitive is that? It boils down to poor cost estimation dahil hindi na-include ng end user mo. Tapos kayo naman as back, you just review kung ano yung pinasok ng end user mo, na-validate ng TWG mo, pero kung wrong data, di ba? Eventually you have to, you can probably use 35.6 yung upon determinate with the end user, huwag nyo nang i-elevate sa hope, declare a failure if it will affect the ABC kung tataas. Diba? But if it can be taken out, kung talagang sinabi, hindi talaga namin sinama yan, ano ba yung hindi kasama sa security ba to? Janitorial? Security wala. Sa janitorial kasi, di ba sinasamahan natin ang supplies minsan, pero pwede natin ihiwala yung supplies. Yun yung nagkakaproblema tayo eh. Okay. So, ganun po.
Thank you. Yung, i-correct ko lang din po kasi, ito kasi may new that came out. Agencies, they are mandated to implement it. But then, kasi conflicting na like, sasabihin na it's not mandatory for us to to implement 30%. So,
Yung 30% at saka ano, actually, ang ano po doon, hindi natin siya nire-require. Kasi under RA nga, you cannot set 30% or 10% sa ano, di ba? Pero kasi ma'am, that's a regulation. So during post-qualification, pag hindi niya nila ngayon, hindi dahil sa specification mo mag-set siya ng 30%, kung hindi siya compliant sa law. Kung RA yan, it's not compliant with the laws. Di ba sa Omnibus Warrant Statement po, compliant with laws, rules, regulations. So yun ang violation niya. Yun ang ineligibility niya. Hindi dahil hindi 30% o dahil 30% ang ginamit niya. Di ba?
what if yung procurement entity mismo yung hindi allocate ng yung 20%?
We really don't. Pero kung after computation mo i-skew, ang suggestion ko doon, uulit ka. If after including it, tataas yung ABC mo, you have to declare a failure on the current project and over. Ngayon, yung extension of contract will be dependent on whether pasok ka pa doon sa recurring services extension, yung diniscuss kanina ni Ma'am Lynn.
Thank you, ma'am. And once again, thank you very much to our resource speaker, Attorney Dexter Macarain. A round of applause, please. Ayan. So for more comprehensive questions, again po, you may visit our TSO booths located at the lobby of our GPPB TSO building. Now, at this point, before we go ahead and meet our third and final resource speaker, let us all have a 5-minute break muna po. We will be distributing our AM snacks sa inyo, and after that, we'll resume our program. tuluyang mag-end ang ating pong session. Let's have a group workshop. And this is, of course, I believe all of us are familiar with the Philippine procurement paradigm. Kanina po na earlier on with Attorney Dexter, discuss po niya ang ating Philippine procurement paradigm with 4 quadrants. So again, ano po yung first quadrant? Needs identification. Second quadrant, needs assessment. Third quadrant, procurement process. And then for our fourth quadrant, the project implementation. So now, we are all seeing our 4 quadrants and we already pre-arranged po yung mga keywords or phrases na nakikita po ninyo sa inyo pong mga harapan. And your task is to identify if all of these keywords and phrases are aligned in their designated quadrants. Clear po? Kaya po? Oo naman, kaya. So let's start now with our first quadrant. Makikita po natin dito ang ating first meta card. Nakalagay po dito, persons responsible, and user unit, backsec, budget officer, or who. The question is, tama po ba na sa first quadrant, ito po ang nakalagay? Yes or no? The answer is no. Why? Because hindi po kasama ang very good, backsec, budget officer, and who. So sa ating first quadrant, the person responsible is only the end user. Very good. So ang next naman po nating meta card, ang sabi terms of reference sa quadrant 1. Is that correct? Yes or no? Yes. First quadrant. Tama po ba? The answer is no. Why? Because ang ating terms of reference ay, that's correct ma'am, dapat sa quadrant 2, 3, or 4? 2. Ayan. Ating pong terms of reference, again, must be placed sa quadrant 2. Okay? Now, market study. Quadrant 1. Yes or no? Yes. Yes, correct. How about availability of funds? Quadrant 1. Yes or no? Yes or no? Availability of funds? Needs identification? Yes, of course. Quadrant 1 yan. Now we move on to our quadrant 2. At least 7 calendar days prior to advertisement and posting. Yes or no? No? Yes or no? Yes. Quadrant 2. Needs assessment. We will have a deeper discussion sa ating pong third session. Now, preparation of PPMP. Quadrant 2, needs assessment. Yes or no? Yes, ma'am. That's correct. Quadrant 1. Kailangan may PPMP na. Diba? Now we move on to quadrant 3. Bid, advertisement, and posting. Yes, that's correct. Next, bid evaluation. Quadrant 3. Procurement process. Yes. Latest period to complete for goods and services, that's 136 calendar days. Quadrant 3. Procurement process. Yes or no? Yes or no? Yes, procurement process. Quadrant 3 is procurement process. How about this one? Persons responsible. End user unit. Backsec who? Yes. Alright? Lahat po yan ay sa quadrant 3 as well. Bid evaluation. Yes. Yeah. Now we move on to our last quadrant. Contract administration. Yes or no for project implementation? Yes. Inspection and acceptance, yung mga IAR natin. Yes. How about contract termination? The answer is yes. At ito ay sa quadrant 4. Alright? Ayan. Thank you very much for participating. Again, we will be having a deeper dive po sa ating Philippine procurement paradigm again sa ating third and last technical session. Now, let's move on to meet our resource speaker. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Director Ana Teresa Del Rosario Bueno.
Magandang umaga. Umaga pa ba? Yes, umaga pa. So we have a very limited time. Magandang umaga po sa mga kapwa ko kawani sa magalong mundo ng procurement. So we are all in here together. Iba-ibang klaseng problema na encounter natin sa ating mga ahensya. Kanya-kanya tayo ng diskarte. At ngayon ang topic natin ay procurement planning. This is the often neglected part of procurement. Planning and budget. I cannot overemphasize the importance of planning. But as I go on with my lecture, makikita natin bakit ba nagkakaganito. Bakit natin na isasantabi ang planning? Anong kailangan natin gawin para magawa natin to, at the same time, magawa natin yung mga trabaho natin na yun yung main, core function natin. Tapos, sisingin natin yung planning, which is very important. At part ng aking topic ay hindi lang planning, strategic planning, proactive planning. Okay? This is the outline. Philippine procurement paradigm, strategic procurement management, and proactive planning in 30 minutes. Meron pa tayong discussion on outsourcing, meron pa tayong EPA, and meron pa tayong framework agreement in 30 minutes. So, 10 minutes each. Meron pa kayong 20 exercise. So, I will expect that since all of us here are procurement practitioners or maybe some of you are end user departments, madali na lang to sa atin. Refresher na lang siya. And we will just keep our feet on the ground on what's happening in reality. And we will, yung theories dito, marami naman siya. And na-discuss na ni Attorney Dexter kanina. Ito nga, meron na kayong Philippine Procurement Paradigm. Philippine Procurement Paradigm, di ba? Paradigm, big word. So if you want to impress somebody, this is my paradigm. I shifted from this paradigm to this paradigm. Oh, big word ha? Anong paradigm? Paradigm ka dyan. What is a paradigm, by the way? It is a model. It is a standard. Ginugel ko lang to, mga kaibigan. Paradigm is a model, a pattern, a standard, a worldview, an overview. And this is our procurement paradigm. Lahat tayo ganito yung tingin natin at ginagawa natin. Short of saying, ito yung second nature natin in our profession or in our career right now. Flashed on screen is the procurement paradigm. Next slide, please. Apat, na-discuss daw to kanina. Ito yun. You have the needs, you have the satisfaction, and where does procurement planning come in? Dito po. So, sabi nila, huwag niyo daw picturean unless ako yung gusto niyong picturean. Sama ko. Kasi, bibigay sa inyo ang slides, pero okay lang din. Documentation. This is the planning. Itong nandito, dalawa. You identify what you need, then you assess, you include it in your APP, you make it procurement ready, and then
Dito na tayo, procure, oh. Tingnan nyo, isa lang siya sa apat. And implement. So, nasan tayo? Procurement tayo dito, no? Dito lang tayo, oh. And yung tatlo dito, sino to? End user, di ba? So, pag pumalpak tayo dito, sino may kasalanan? End user. Pasal sa end user. Bakit mabagal ang back? End user eh, pangan na POR. Yung ABC, mababa. Pangan ng pagkagawa eh. End user may kasalanan. Makikita rin natin sa survey, end user talaga, punot-dulo ng lahat ng ating paglilip sa procurement. Wala bang end user dito? Kasi siya na, no? Kasi siyempre, sila yung wala. Sila yung papasahan natin ng sisi. Pero anong dapat natin gawin, di ba? As procurement practitioners, tutulungan natin yung end user. Kasi sa totoo lang, kaaawa-awa sila. Nakita natin mamaya. So, you need to identify, you need to assess, and then procure, make it procurement ready, para ma-implement ng maayos. Okay, next slide. Ito na. End user na naman, di ba? Makikita niyo dito, malamang ang na-survey dito ay tayo, no? Procurement professionals. Ano ang causes ng delays and failures of bidding? Poor planning. Ano pa? Text specs. Totoo lang, hindi naman talaga tayo gumawa ng text specs, di ba? Sila. Terms of reference. Late submission of PR. At karamihan, ang program pa. Program. Wala sa APP. So, ang backsec, pumahog, i-amend ng APP, kasi may bago. Ano pa nang mangyayari? Yung mga nakaplano, may itchapwera yun. May rush eh. So, i-speed lane ko to. So, unfair dun sa iba na nag-file on time, nag-comply sa deadline ng backsec to file the PR. Nagiging problema po namin yan sa office namin na ito, may bagong unprogram. So, kung tutusin mo, pag tinignan mo, paano naging ang program dyan? Dapat may program mo yan. Event mo yan, event. Ay, bigla lang akong naisip na kailangan may event. Bibili ka ng corporate gifts, etc. Yung i-organize mo lahat, bibili mo mga ganito, ganyan. Ganun, event, kayo lang naisip. So, walang planning, walang proper planning, which is 50% of the causes of delay and failures of bidding. Poor cost estimates, mababang ABC, pero ang taas ng gusto ng specs. So, may mga pinapabili sa amin ngayon. Big chismis, napapabili ng LED TV, tapos gusto ng quarterly inspection of the LED TV. Pero ang presyo ng TV niya is normal lang. So sabi ng mga bidders, or sabi ng small value lang naman to, kaya namin mo yan i-deliver. Pero may free inspection po kayo quarterly for that one TV, for that one LED TV. Siyempre may tao siya, papupuntahin sa opisina para i-inspect kung okay ba yung LED TV. Tapos free warranty yun, walang bayad. Kumbaga, siya ba, kayo ba, kung kayong bidder, bibig kayo, presyo ng TV let's say, 100. They're normal. So, ang taas ng specs, siyempre, failure of procurement yun. Maraming kaya nung mag-comply, pero meron kang ilagay na volatilya doon na ganun. So, yun yung requirement of the end user.
Pero, we talk to the end user, ayaw nang i-give up. So, ang advice namin, hindi taas mo i-busy mo. Kasi may cost yan. Hindi naman mga bayani ang mga suppliers. They are business people. Kailangan din naman nilang kumita. Diba? So, yon. There is a mismatch between the estimate and the expects. And ito nga, pinakamalaki. Late submission of PR. So, yan. Yung mga dito, lack of manpower. So, talagang systemic to sa lahat. Lahat ng ahensya na natin. Lack of manpower, approval review, medyo ano naman yan. Yung SARO daw, 5% lang naman. Kasi pag sa nandiyan naman yan, madali lang i-release. Ito rin, low number of bidders. Bakit? Daming requirements ng gobyerno. Daming papel. Tapos magsasabi pa ulit-ulit. Ulit-ulit. Wala ba kayong database? Yung mga documents namin, mga ganun. Diba? So, ayaw nila makipag-transact sa atin. Tapos mabagal daw tayo ang bayad. Napakahigpit sa inspection of the materials. Okay. So, yun. Again, procurement paradigm. So, we'll jump to the next slide. Nulit lang to. Ay, 47 slides by the way. From GBPB to. So, we'll just go fast on other things. These are the processes or the items na kino-consider natin when we plan. What to buy, how many, what are the details, what is the cost, when you need it. When do you need it? This is, I think, very important. Especially those with expiring contracts. Mamaya, I will discuss the EPA, may expiring kang kontrata. Kailan mo ba pwedeng bilhin yan early on, earliest? Tapos sa failure of bidding ka, anong gagawin mo? Or nabili mo ng sobrang aga. Pwede ba yun? Eh, ang bid security mo ay 120 calendar days lang, max. So, yun yung mga dilemma natin, di ba? Kumbaga sa procurement, kahit nagplano ka ng sobra, ang daming unpredictable na hindi mo control. So, even, sa tingin ko, kahit na the best planner ay nasa atin, ang daming X factors na nangyayari, ang daming beyond our control factors. Eh, paano pa kung hindi ka pa nagplano? Hindi lalo na. So, ang sinasabi rin ng iba, gano'n din naman eh. Hindi magplano ka. Gano'n pa rin naman ang result. So, sila, bahala na. Bahala na si Batman. Let's go. Okay? So, what is procurement planning? Ito yon. Next. So, ito pa rin yung proseso ba? Why do we need to plan? We have to plan because if we don't plan, sabi ay, we plan to fail. Daw, sabi. Pero marami ng procurement natin. Kaya na lang di ba? Pero nagka-successful naman. Chamba. Natsatsambahan naman natin eh. So, yan. Malakas tayo sa chamba. Okay, procurement planning. No procurement shall be undertaken unless it's accordance with the APP. And it should be meticulously and judiciously planned by the procurement entity. Okay, let's go to the procurement timeline. Next slide. Okay. What do you observe? You have this procurement timeline. You have the current fiscal year, from January, March, April, July. And you have January of the next fiscal year. So now, nagpaplano ka na, di ba? Ngayon ay March. Dito na tayo, ang bilis ng taon, no? January, nagplano ka. For next year pa to, ha? But you have to plan now. So, we do cost-benefit analysis, feasibility study, market scoping, yung lecture ni Attorney Dexter kanina, cost estimates. So, we're done with that. And then March, you now start your PPMP. And then, you consolidate into an indicative annual procurement plan. Anong pwede pagka may indicative annual procurement plan ka na? Pwede ka na mag-EPA. So, as early as March, pwede na? Pwede na ba? Hindi. Doon sa mga ahensya na does not depend on the net. Dito, sa mga GOCCs. In theory, pwede na. If you have the indicative APP ng April. Dito, April pala. Na-consolidate ka pa ng March, then April, you have the indicative APP, then pwede ka na. July, pwede na rin. So as early as April, pwede na ang EPA. I'll jump to EPA na rin na. Anyway, lecture ko rin naman yun mamaya. But, kung naging successful ka, at pinabili mo, April, May, June, July, may successful procurement ka na, wow! Galing. Ang bilis. July. Pero ang bid security ng bidder mo ay max of 120 CDs. Hindi expired na siya by January. By January mo pa kailangan. So, anong mata ay driving at? Pag sobrang aga, hindi pwede. Pag sobrang dulo naman, pag nag-failure ka, di mo madideliver ng January. Oh, saan ka lalagay? Parang ganun eh. Pwede naman po pa-extend. Pa-extend natin ang validity of the visibility. Pwede. Kung papayag ng bidder. Eh kung sagad yung presyo niya, ay, hindi na ho pwede. Kasi magmamahal na yan. So, ulitin mo na naman yung procurement mo. Kasi, mag-expire na. Hindi security na. Ano ba yung nakikita natin? Well, di ba? If you will look at this timeline, it's spaced properly. Oy, nakakaplano tayo. January, March, April. Para sa susunod na procurement. Next year. So, what is the problem? Ang daming oras, oh. What is the problem? Ano experience nyo ngayon? Anong nangyayari ngayon? January. Nagpa-file ka ng PR. Nagpo-procure na. Ngayong taon, ng mga kailangan mo, ngayong taon din. At sino gumagawa ng noon? Baklang ba? Hindi. Siyempre, andyan ang end users. So, si end user na abala, aligaga sa mga bibilin today, this year, na kailangan nyo mabili this year, kailangan nyo ma-implement this year, at kailangan nyo mabayaran this year, kasi cash-based budgeting tayo. Aligaga siya dito sa pagbili ng mga kailangan niya this year. And yet, the very same end user needs to plan for next year. So, kung ako end user, teka, mag-isang tao lang ako sa opisina ko. Ano ba ang unahin ko? Itong planning? Nung bibiling ko next year? Or, yung bibili ng back ngayon? May meeting ng back, bibili. Kailangan ko i-discuss yung technical specs. And normally, tell me if I'm wrong, the end users who are attending the back are the same end users doing the planning. So which would I prioritize? Of course, as end user, ito muna. Yung bibiling ko this year, kasi kailangan ko next year eh. This year eh. Ito next year pa yan. So I will postpone, bahala na yan mamaya. Or pag may oras pa ako, sige, mamaya na yan. So this is our year in and year out personal experience. Kaya sabi ko sa kanya, maawa rin tayo sa end user kasi hindi na nare-recognize na ganito yung schedule nila. They're procuring now and planning for next year. Hindi naman yan humihinto eh. And nasa operations din sila. They're doing the operations. At the same time, implementation of their projects ongoing. Procurement, planning, ongoing lahat yan. And walang tao, walang manpower. So, what can we do to ease their burden? We have to guide them as procurement professionals on all of this. Guide them on how to properly define the technical specifications, the DOR, the ABC, the budget, diba? So yan, that is the timeline, the procurement planning timeline that coincides with the procurement proper itself and the implementation, the operations, the daily operations of the offices, of the operating departments. So multitasking is the key. And strategizing is the key. So ito, next slide please. So this is the procurement timeline based on the identification in the procurement paradigm and the assessment. So you have the PPMP, kabisado nyo na to, and the APP. The PPMP, ito yung kanya-kanyang departments, gumagawa ng PPMP. APP, ito na yung consolidated by the BACSIT. Challenges in procurement planning. Next. So, yun nga, lack or insufficient proper market study and cost-benefit analysis. Kasi nga, walang luxury of time to do this. Pero ngayon kasi, di ba, medyo mas madali na. Madali na mag-research due to availability of research tools. May AI na. So, mas madali na tutuusin ang market study, yung availability of goods in the market. Tapos ilalagay sa APP, sa PPMP. Ito nga daw, madalas naman to thought of after the budget has been enacted. Ito yung mga nagiging unprogrammed items. And then lack or limited training or experience in crafting PORs. So, effects on procurement, again, paulit-ulit. Failures of bidding, delay in procurement, next slide please, and ineffective procurement. So, what do? Daling sabihin, pero mahirap gawin. We strategize. Paano natin mapapabilis ito? Let's procure wisely. Let's procure wisely. Paano? Think of streamline processes. Sa AMPs, anong usual nating nangyayari, di ba? Pasabit ng documents, paulit-ulit. When we are allowed under the, for example ko lang to, we are allowed under the IRR to keep a database of our bidders or our frequent bidders. Para hindi na sila paulit-ulit submit. Pwede naman Or, Nasa PhilGems eh. Check your Annex H. Procuring entities maintaining an updated list of their suppliers, including their eligibility documents, or in the PhilGems website, may no longer require their submission. O edi, tingnan natin yung procurement website. O ikaw ba, ano ka, platinum ka ba, or red ka ba? Edi yun na yung sasabit niya sa inyo na document. And, o kaya may bidding, may ano kayo, meron kayong bidding. Tapos yung bidder will participate in your AMP. O di get yung bidding documents yung bidder na yun, pwede na siya mag-participate sa AMPs. Mga ganon, di ba? Pero hindi na po ulit-ulit yung submission ng documents. So check your Annex H. Pwede yan. Pero syempre sa public bidding, pass-fail, kailangan sabit ka palagi. Kahit kakasabit mo pa lang. But, what I'm saying is sa AMP, sa alternative methods, small value, andyan na siya. Hindi mo na siya kakailangan pa-submitted pa ulit. Kung updated naman, ang pwede na lang, submit na lang nila is the financial proposal and the offer. Or the financial proposal and the offer. O, di ba? So, nakatipid ka ng dokumento na pinapasubmit. Ano pa? Maintain a manual of technical specifications. Para meron ka ng standard manual of technical specifications na ina-update na lang. So, ganun. Then, ngayon, marami na tayong way. Online meetings, online referendum. So, nakaka-multitask tayo anyway. So, we also, in our office, we also di ba, ang IB prep natin, sino nagpe-prepare ng invitation to bid, bidding docs sa inyo? Backsec. Backsec. Sino mga backsec dito? Mga kawawang backsec. Mga bayaning backsec. Anong ginagawa nyo, di ba? Mga dokumento from the end user. Bibigyan kayo ng ganyang dokumento, tapos ita-translate nyo sa bidding docs. Ano papelin nyo? Ano papel nyo? Cut-paste. Cut-paste. So what we did is to make the preparation of the IB a joint effort between the end user and the BACSEC or the procurement office to produce the bidding docs. Kasi, kadamihan sinasabit nila sa inyo, i-replicate lang naman yan sa IB. So what we did is, we identified ano bang portion ng IB ang fill upan ni end user, anong portion ng IB ang fill upan ni BACSEC. Para yung text specs, o ikaw naman yan, section 7 may text specs or section 8. 7 and 8, yung ABC, ikaw na yan. Yung mga SLCC, ikaw na yan. Sa kanila yung nagagaling di ba? SLCC, mga ganon. Tapos, tayo sa procurement, sa BACSEC, yung para sa procurement, sa IRR. So, hanggang makaproduce kayo ng isang IB at yun yung sasabit sa BAC. So, kami, pag-file nila ng PR, kasama na yung partially filled up IB in hard copy or in soft copy. Kadalasan in soft copy. Para fillable form na siya. So, naka-mark ka doon kanino mag-fill up ng ganito, naka-blue or naka-yellow. So, may codes na kayo. You don't have to retype anew yung IB. Para konti na lang. So, identify ng back, sino yung nagkamali dito sa pag-fill up. Kasi minsan nagkakaroon ng discrepancy by copying from the document submitted by the end user nagkakaroon ng mga errors in translation pag pinroduce na yung bidding documents. So think of ways how we can streamline the processes na walang duplicitous processes para natin mapadali yung buhay natin. And then, we have to also instill discipline sa end user natin. So, sa amin, sa opisina ko, we adopted a batch processing of PRs. So, we set a uniform date for filing of PRs. Lahat ng end users na makakomply on this date, batch 1 kayo. We will assume, we will commit that all of you na naka-submit on time, complete documents, batch 1 kayo. Yung mga hindi naka-comply, di maghintay kayo sa susunod na batch. But no assurance na mapoprocure namin within the year yung inyong requirements. Plus, may justification yon sa kanila na dapat may approval sa kataas-taasan na hindi mo na i-file yung iyong PR on time. Hindi na kami yung buong taon pwedeng mag-file ng PR. Kasi karamihan ng users sa dulo nagpa-file. Photo finish. Eh di, hindi mo na yung matatapos. Diba? Photo finish, Pasko na, bagong taon na, nag-award ka pa ng kontrata. Diba? So, ngarag ka, sila, asan yung kontrata namin? Follow-up ng follow-up. Eh, kapalit naman nag-file. So, ganon. Let's also instill discipline sa kanila by setting their expectations. Pero once naman na nag-file sila, let's ensure naman that we commit to deliver what they file. Okay, so that's strategic procurement management, efficiency. Okay, strategic procurement management. Next. Yung mga innovations. Then, ngayon mga taking, di ba? Mga kabataan sa opisina nyo, pagawin nyo ng mga app, mga monitoring app, templates. So, para hindi sila mabore, di ba? Okay. Next pa. So, this is just a study. Next pa. Next. Yan, compliance and management. So, this is a very abused, I think overused concept in procurement. Focuses on mere compliance to rules, follows a step-by-step written guidance. What do I mean by this? Yung non-discretionary pass-fail criteria. Pass-fail Fail. Simple. I-repeat na lang yan. Sino ba yung nag-define ng mga requirements na yan? Yung mga documents na yan? Di ba tayo rin? Tapos yung nagiging cause ng failure, yung pang-document na hindi mandatory. Tapos mag-isa lang siya, bidder. Walang kalaban. Tapos ulitin mo. Tapos may hindi na pirmahang maliit na portion. Well, I'm not saying that you violate the law or pero sometimes, this is overused and abused, yung non-discretionary pass-fail criteria. So, na-flash sa screen ng bank. Uy! Nakalimutan ng pirma. Ito sa dulo. Tapos mag-isa lang siyang bidder. Teka, hindi mo na i-flash. Hindi mo na i-flash. Wala siyang kalaban Complying ba? Sir, nakalimutan niyo pong pirmahan yung isa. Para po hindi namin ulitin. Pwede po ba pirmahan niyo na lang? Tapos notaryado, ha? Kasi hindi niya pinirmahan. Pass-fail, walang pirma. So what do you do? Diba? You're the bank. Ano ba? Ulitin na naman. Ladies and gentlemen, siguro naman, baka pwede mong gawa na lang ng paraan. lugar na pirmahan. Ay, sorry po. Ganito po nangyari dyan. Yung nasa notaryo, may pirma. Di ba may isang kopya sa notaryo? Iyon po na isubmit sa back, yung walang pirma eh. Pero yung totoong dokumento niya na original, may pirma. Ah, okay. O, sige. O, diba? O, awarded. Ginawa po namin yun, sorry. Pero, I'm just saying, I mean, ulitin mo, over that very, let's think of ways eh. Gawa natin ng paraan. Kasi, di naman natin tayo namura. Diba? And then, man hours na ginugugol mo, if uulitin mo yan, ganun na lang. Ganun na lang. And may mas mabibili ka pang makakaginhawa pa sa lahat ng tao, even sa bidder, na i-award mo na siya. Okay? So, I'm not saying na mag-violate kayo. What I'm saying is, i-regularize nyo hanggat maaari. Within the bounds naman of the law. O, di yun. Mga ganun lang. Okay. Next. So, proactive planning. You have to be proactive. Sinitan mo ng oras. Then, we learn from our past mistakes. Next, the PPMP and APP. Oh my God. Alas 12 na ba? Anong oras na? APP, PPMP. Alam nyo na yung APP, di ba? Alam yung PPMP, di ba? Ano hindi nyo alam? Alam nyo na lahat, di ba? Oh, let's jump to slide. Pagalitan ako ng GPPV. Kaya dito naman si Kyle eh. Actually, kasalanan nila yan eh. Ang konti ng oras, isang oras, 47 slides. Tarungan ba yan? Buti na lang may honoraria to. Meron na. Okay, let's, so, yun lang That's what you have to remember about planning. So, I'll go to the procurement service. Dito, ang kailangan nyo ng tandaan ay you have to submit your APPCSE to the PSDBM para ma-forecast din PSDBM yung bibilihin niya. Because PSDBM, nagre-rely din naman sila doon sa mga kailangan natin. Volume items that we need to in our day-to-day operations. So submit your APPCSE to the PSDBM. Itong APPCSE, ina-call out ito from the APP. Okay, Menti.com. Ay, hindi na. Kasi wala ng oras. Okay. So, ang nakatanong naman dito, why should PE submit APPCSE? Yun nga, for PSDBM to be able to forecast the need, our need. Then, outsourcing of procurement activities. Meron po ba dito nag-hire ng procurement agent? So, kung wala, hindi ko na ito di-discuss. Pero pwede kayong mag-hire ng procurement agent. Or another way is to enter into agency-to-agency agreement or agency-to-agency procurement with another government agency na expert or yun yung talagang mandate niya to do it. Eh, hindi mo naman yung talagang expertise. So you can hire or you can enter to agency with that government agency. Okay? Like the DPWH. Dito, yung building na to, ang magandang building na to, ay DPWH ang in-agency to agency ni GBPBDSO. Ang difference kasi sa procurement agent, procurement lang yung gagawin niya. Whereas kung agency to agency, siya na yun, pati implem. Ibibigyan mo na lang siya na, babayaran mo siya. So, siya na rin yung mag-hire ng contractor niya. So, si DPWH will hire the contractor, will procure the contractor, at si DPWH yung babayaran. So, okay. Next, we jump to early procurement. So, na-discuss ko to kanina, early procurement activities. EPA. Marami ka bang EPA? So, tayo na nakakaintindihan what EPA is, ano? Sa iba, ano yung EPA? EPA. Iba yung sound ng EPA sa iba. At sa atin, EPA is very important because we need to conduct early procurement activities for things that we need even before the approval of the budget. Umpisa na natin siya. And yeah, award, short of award, pero at least may contractor ka na, or may supplier ka na, at assured ka na yung kontrata mong mag-expire ay hindi maglalapse or mako-continue siya by that particular supplier or contractor. So this refers to 4 na modes ang pwede, no? Yung 4 na modes. Public bidding, ngayon, direct contracting, pwede ba direct contracting sa EPA? Pwede, no? Basta 4 yun. Check nyo na lang ang inyong IRR. So, it assures early procurement, completion of procurement. Pwede nga lang, i-EPA na lahat eh. Diba? Para sa following year, award ka na lang. Oo. Award ka na lang ng award. Tapos, ang back ninyo, di ba, ano lang naman ng back. Di naman yan full-time. May sarili silang functions. Pero bakit hindi pwedeng i-EPA lahat? May format ang EPA?
Ang dami kasi may chicks na parang format po ng market research. Mga 20.
Iba lecture ni Atty. Dexter yan. At least nung sa kanya yan tinanong. Joke. Hindi, kahit siya na planning, actually, nagpapasalamat ako kay Atty. Dexter kasi 50% of my lecture kanya yun eh. Planning, cost estimates, market research, market scoping, project costing, yan. Yung sa akin, theories lang, chika lang. Sa ngayon ay wala pang format ng market research. But yung usual natin would be, in your market research, you get 3 quotations, no? And, pero kung kadalasan kasi mga suppliers, naman yan, ulit-ulit kayo nagma-market research, tapos yung mga yun, mukhang hindi rin naman sumasali sa bidding. So, iba yung market research, iba rin naman yung nangyayari yung nagpa-participate sa bidding. Yung iba, hindi magpa-participate na lang ako. Kasi kahit magsabit ako ng proposal sa inyo na market research, hindi rin naman ako yung nananalo. Yung iba, wait and see lang. Tapos, sila yung nagpa-participate. So, what do we do? Diba? Sabi nga ni Atty. Dexter, you are not limited by the submission of 3 quotations. You can do it on your own by relying on your existing or past procurement. Kasi minsan dyan, or kadalasan, mas maalam pa kayo eh. Kasi nabili nyo. So, namang problema yung mga ano ko sa office. Wala pong nagsasubmit ng quotation. Ay, paano to? Minimum of 3. Sabi ko, First time ba natin bibilin yan? Hindi po, nabili na po last year, pero dapat na po updated. So dapat na yun. Wala kang mag-submit. So what is the most reliable market research that you can do kung walang mag-submit? Look at the financial proposals of those bids na nasabit na sa inyo mismo. That's the most reliable. Yan, no, first hand, pirmado. Pirmadong offer. What's the lowest? What's the highest? Get the highest. Kasi may inflation. Ayan, complying, no? Yun na yung market research mo yun. That's part of your market research. And no one can argue that you can rely on your own records because the bidders that you have, that's part of the market. And you are a buyer, a government buyer, dealing with the market. And you have on your hands official documents. In fact, mas reliable pa nga yan than yung nire-request mo. Yan, notarized, financial proposal, official record. So you can do analogous market research or analogous historical costing. So yun yung one of the most reliable na ginagawa namin is to rely on our own records. Another thing, tingnan mo rin yung ibang gobyerno. May field jets, may mga offers sa ibang ahensya. Ito, katulad ng sa atin. Let's adapt. Kay agency A, ganito. Kay agency B, ganito. Kay agency C, ganito. So, let's study which will be reliable sa atin. I think that's also a reliable market research. Kasi yung mga sinasabit natin, yung kinukuha natin sa bidders at sa mga suppliers, isa yung kinukulaan din naman nila yan Kasi alam naman nila na hindi yun yung controlling. Tinataasan, or yun, alam naman kasi sa government bidding. Anyway, nag-digress ako. Early procurement, ang tawag dito before ay procurement short of award. Kasi you cannot get award, wala ka kasi papang-approve budget. Okay? Paano kung mo, tapos biglang wala palang budget? Nakakahiya naman, no? Gano'n talaga. You have to exercise the reservation clause. Kasi the budget has been withheld through no fault of the agency. Kaya tayo may Section 48. Pero ang saklap nun, kasi nabili mo na, tapos meron ka ng may nag-deliver na, tapos na-cancel, hindi na budgetan. Ganun talaga. Hindi siya makawar. But, ano yung pwedeng mangyari? Kung gumastos na siya, hindi mo yung mare-reimburse, di ba? Meron din tayong that we cannot compensate the bidders for expenses they incurred in the preparation of their bids. Pero yung bid documents fee, you have to reimburse, to be fair. Reimburse the bid documents fee na binayaran niya, or tell the bidder na i-apply ko na lang yan kasi ang hirap mag-refund sa gobyerno. Diba? Tell the bidder na, sa susunod mong bidding, participation, i-apply namin tong bid-docs fee mo dito sa na-cancel na procurement. So, meron kang credit sa amin na bid-docs fee which we will apply in our next bidding. Sa next bidding, i-honor namin yan. So, yun yung mga workaround. Para ma-engganyo pa siya na mag-participate ulit. Kasi free na yung bid-docs niya. Sa participate siya ulit. Na-cancel na. Di ba kayong gobyerno kayo? Or natalo siya sa club. Ay, yan talaga. So, early procurement. pending approval of the GAA. And effectivity of the GAA, corporate budget. Okay. So, kung nag-early procurement ka, natutol yung timeline natin, di ba? Hanggang ma-award mo. So, pero ang hindi lang natutol, yun nga, yung bid, security ng bidder na 120 CDs. So, yun lang. So, sana magkaroon tayo ng markup kasi tumataas yung presyo niya para pumayag siya na may extend yung bid security niya. So, ano yung natutol? Yung 15 days within which the Hope shall approve the resolution of the BAC, told yan, and the 3-month period within which to complete the procurement process. From the opening of bids to the award of contract under Section 38 of RA 984. Pagka na-approve na yung budget, mag-run ulit siya. So, kunyari nasa end day ka of the 15th, may 5 days ka. Or nandun ka na sa second month, may 1 month. Okay. Mag-menti pa, hindi na, no? Sige. Kayo na lang okay, we're in the last slides. Framework agreement. Meron po ba dito na nag-framework agreement na successfully? Sa HR? Ano po yung agency? Okay. Pwede po ba kayo na magturo dito ng framework agreement? Kasi I know framework by theory. But I still have to apply. We still have to apply in our agency how to do framework. So parang feeling ko hindi ako competent to lecture on framework agreement. But on theories, ito siya. It's an option contract between the procurement entity and the bidder. Option contract meaning the agency can buy or not buy at all. And the consideration for our framework agreement is 1 peso. Wala kang, may ABC ka, pero ang lalabas sa kontrata mo is 1 peso lang yung consideration. And then pwedeng 1 year to a maximum of 3 years. Pag isa lang yung bidder mo, 1 year ka lang. Pero kung marami sila, pwede ka hanggang 3 years na naka-framework dun sa more than 1, 2 to 3. Okay, so yun yung framework. And kailan useful ang framework? For procurement of goods and services which are repeatedly required, but by their nature, use, or characteristic, the quantity or exact time of need cannot be accurately predetermined. So in my lecture sa baba, meron doon na na yung mga gamot, pini-framework na nila. Yung sa mga catering, pini-framework na rin. Yung mga hindi mo alam yung need, cannot be accurately predetermined. And then yung hindi mo pwedeng i-stock in your warehouse ng matagal, or wala kayong warehouse where to store it. Basta ang major niyan is, hindi mo siya agad alam kailan mo kakailanganin. And hindi pwede ng replenishment lang. Okay, so yun, ang framework agreement. It is not a mode of procurement, but it is a scheme that we can consider. So it's single or multi-year. So depende po sa how we will structure the ABC. Kasi nga, ang medyo mahirap sa framework, medyo one-sided siya. Hindi lang medyo, one-sided siya. Kasi, pwedeng ma-blacklist yung bidder. Pwedeng ma-suspend, ma-blacklist. Kung hindi niya ma-supply. Tapos, committed siya na i-deliver yung subject of the framework, tapos wala kang guarantee na mag-order sa'yo. And yet, you have to keep this volume of items in your stock na, uy, baka mag-order si Department of Agriculture. So, kahit meron siyang may bumibili sa kanya, I have to keep it. Tapos, di ko man nag-order pala. So, may cost of money. So, I think if you will undertake framework agreement, lagyan nyo ng markup para maingganyo sila to participate. Kasi nandun yung commitment pero one-sided eh. Commitment from the bidder. May performance security rin siya. Kailangan i-post. Okay? So, ito yung mga even if I lecture on the process, baka hindi nyo rin masyadong mag-gets kasi kung hindi nyo naman siya gagamitin. Dito, ang submission ng is performance security declaration. Na kung hindi niya ma-deliver, pwede nga siya masuspend or ma-blacklist. Okay, so, tapos na. Yes. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you, Director Buen. So before we let you go, ma'am, let's proceed to the final open forum. Now, wala po tayong question mula sa ating online participants. So, we will be accommodating 2 on-site questions. And let's start with question number 1. Anyone? None. Ay, yun po pala.
One question lang po. Are government agencies already mandated po to post their EPPs in PhilGems? PhilGems po.
Oo daw. Diba? Mandated na daw tayo to post our APP in the PhilGems. Yung 2.0, diba? May issuance that we have to post. Yung version 2.0. Hindi ko lang alam kung nakasuspend eh. Pero there was an issuance. Kasi natanong kami ng COA about it eh. Yung posting of our APP in the PhilGems. So, syempre, nag-excuse kami na, hindi pa kasi pwede kasi may ginagawa pa kami. Hindi pa kami nakapost eh. Pero mukhang ngayon na-post namin. So, yes. We have to.
Sa actual po, medyo nabinila ko kanina dun sa yung kahit okay na po yung ABC niya, market research na and everything, pero isa lang ang nagbibid. Hindi po public po na yung small value. Kaya ang nakalagay po kasi sa RA 9184, minimum of 3. So may mga natatanggalan po talaga kaming procurement ng supplies kasi isa lang gustong mag-risk dun sa ABC namin. Ganun.
So, kung shopping, malamang shopping yung mood mo, no? Kasi,
nakuha po kasi kami doon.
ganito kasi, no? There's a very thin line between shopping and small value. So, as much as possible, kung pwede nyo ma-justify na small value na lang siya instead of shopping. Now, if hindi nyo talaga ma-justify na maging small value procurement at shopping siya, this is what we do. Nag-post kami. Isa lang yung nag-bid. Failure yun, diba? But we include in the bidding documents na should we repost this, the bidder is willing na i-consider namin yung bid niya in the previous shopping na nag-fail. So, nandun yun sa bidding docs. Para, meron ka ng isa. Diba? So, meron ka ng isa dun sa i-repost mo ulit. Second posting. Meron ka ng isa. Meron na namang may nag-participate na isa. Di ba dalawa ka na, nag-failure na naman. Eh yung pangalawa na yun, may ano naman siya na, oo, you can still, my bid is valid until you're reposting for the same item at the same price, same yung offer ko. Without me necessarily resubmitting it. So, nag-post ka na naman hanggang makatatlo ka. Pero syempre naman, dapat within the same, malapit lang kasi nga may presyo naman yan eh. Baka pwede mag-expire. So, ganon. We have to think of ways eh. And I think that process is not naman violative of the IRR. Kasi ang requirement is you obtain 3 quotations. Wala talaga. Oo. Ang way is small value mo na lang. Para kahit isa, makaano ka. Justify one small value. Mahirap talaga pag shopping. Hindi talaga siya shopping eh. Kasi misnomer yung shopping. Diba? Ang shopping, ang isip mo dyan, shopping. Yan. Oh. Hindi naman. Diba? Mahirap na shopping. Dapat tanggalin nyo na yung shopping eh. Sa mga small value na lang. Sa amin, next, tanggalin na yung shopping. O kaya yung shopping, i-combine. Yun na yung small value. Okay, so thank you for everyone. Gutom na po kayo for sure.
Alright, so again, thank you very much. And again, thank you very much to our GBPD recognized trainer, Ma'am Director Ana Del Rosario Buen. Alright, so alam ko po marami pong questions. Nakita ko po may mga nag-raise po sa likod, but I would like to take this opportunity once again to advertise yung atin pong mga booths sa baba. We have our procurement clinic and our TSO booths open today until Friday, until 4:30 po. So, para po sa mga specific concerns and issues po ninyo, please do visit our procurement clinic and TSO booths later after our procurement forum. But before that, yes, meron din po tayong TPSCC booths available sa, again, sa ating pong lobby ng GPB TSO building. And as well, yung ating pong government booths. We have Pag-ibig, GSIS, DICT, and Langgam. Ayan. And of course, wag po natin kalimutan ng ating mga Filipino products. We also have our auto booths. Tangkilikin natin ang produktong Pilipino, tangkilikin ang produktong atin. So before we end our official session, I would like to please remind everyone na mag-ano po tayo. Please accomplish our evaluation through our Pro Hub. This is both for on-site and online participants ha. Kasi yung atin pong certificate of participation will be system generated. So again, once you accomplish the evaluation, automatic po, mapro-provide na po sa inyong mga email ang inyong pong certificate of participation. Again, for both online and on-site participants. Alright, so that ends our Procurement Forum exclusive for national government agencies. In behalf of the GPPTSO, this has been your host, Monica Marisa Dia. We thank you for your continuous and unparalleled support towards a professional, innovative, and excellent government procurement system, because together we make things happen. Thank you all and have a blessed day.
May I request po a selfie, a groupie sa ating lahat. Thank you for documentation.